Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Crossing the ninja world, the beginning became Uchiha Obito. Chapter 41. Uchiha Sasuke also looked at him, wanting to hear his explanation. Konohamaru scratched his head, laughed, and said, "Ha ha ha, well, I actually went to investigate. Because I found a very important thing. That is, I found that Konoha's Orochimaru seems to be doing some big moves recently, and I have found his trace near Konoha village." Uchiha Itachi and Sasuke heard what Konohamaru said, and they looked at each other, seeing disdain in each other's eyes. "A mere Orochimaru is nothing to be afraid of," Uchiha Itachi said lightly. He didn't mind letting Orochimaru feel the horror of kaleidoscope Sharingan again. "It's just Orochimaru, it's just the soul of the dead under my sword," Uchiha Sasuke said with a cold snort. Sasuke was able to kill Orochimaru during the Sengodama period, not to mention that the eternal kaleidoscope Sharingan has been opened today. Orochimaru is just the prey in his hands, not worth mentioning. Konohamaru looked at their disdainful expressions, and felt a little speechless, but still said, "Since you two are so confident, then let's go quickly, let's sneak into Konoha village to perform the task of adults." "Ah, okay, let's go." The two Uchiha brothers left with Konohamaru. "Oshimaru, just wait and see, within a year, I will kill you with my own hands." Uchiha Itachi's eyes flashed with cold light, and he whispered to himself. Sasuke had the same look. "I don't know what you will do." When Konohamaru heard the words of the two Uchiha brothers, he murmured to himself. After Obito finished speaking, everyone in the Akatsuki organization went to action, especially money fans like Kakutsu, who immediately went to draw up a plan with pain after hearing that they could make money in this way. And Obito came to the Shinwei space. Glancing at the sleeping pigman next to him, Obito shook his head speechlessly. Pigman was still running a laptop in front of him, and there were bursts of blushing voices coming from it. "System, let's do a 10 consecutive draw." Obito saw that his points just happened to be enough for another 10 consecutive draws. "Okay, draw a lottery for the host immediately." The system responded. 10 consecutive draws begin. Congratulations to the host for winning 100 gold coins. Congratulations to the host for winning 100 gold coins. Congratulations to the host for winning 10,000 copper coins. Congratulations to the host for winning 10,000 copper coins. Congratulations to the host for winning the first order mask of the Shadow Core. Congratulations to the host for pumping 100 bottles of soda. Congratulations to the host for winning 100 bottles of Coca-Cola. Congratulations to the host for winning 1,000 rolls of gauze. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a guaranteed reward, Medicine Master's Pocket Half-Snake Cloak. This item is not bad. Obito sighed. The system has become a bit more conscientious recently, so he can just keep the soda and cola for himself. As for the first order mask of the Sombra Corps, that is, the Sombra Corps ninjas that appeared at the beginning of Jackie Chan's adventures, they are the most powerful in combat. In the next few masks, the ninjas that can be summoned are all with special abilities. Even so, Obito estimates that each ninja summoned by this mask has the level of quasi-ninja. And the advantage lies in the large number of people. Basically, the ninjas of the Shadow Corps are endless. Whether to extract the reward ninja, Medicine Master's Pocket Half-Snake Cloak. Also, extract it. Obito nodded, said, "The performance of the ninja Shedu is still good. The strength of Shedu in this period should be at the quasi-cage level or the shadow level. Although the snake pocket has a little damage, it has good performance, and Shedu will also be an improved version of Dirty Earth reincarnation. If there is no Orochimaru, Shedu can be regarded as the second scientist in the ninja world." Boom. A puff of smoke cleared, and Obito appeared in front of Obito wearing a cloak. "Grown-ups." Shedu saluted Obito respectfully. "Yaoshido, I know you want to find your true self and realize your own value, and I can help you." Pharmacist Doe was stunned for a moment when he heard the words, and then looked at Obito excitedly. He didn't expect that the master who summoned him knew him so well. Pharmacist Doe immediately became more respectful to Obito. "Thank you for your support, sir. If you have any plans, Pharmacist Doe will die." Obito touched his chin, and pondered. "Now the Chunin exam is about to start, do you know where Orochimaru is now?" Pharmacist thought for a while, nodded and said, I know, Oshimaru-sama should have killed Kazekage Rasa just now. Now he should be pretending to be Kazekage to consolidate his dominance in Sand Hidden Village. At this time, I should still be working as an undercover agent in Konoha, in front of the so-called 4-year Chunin exam veteran, in fact to act as Oshimaru-sama's eyeliner in Konoha. My lord, you don't want me to kill Oshimaru-sama, do you? Doe suddenly thought about it, and said with some embarrassment. Orochimaru is a great benefactor to Doe, and Doe has always respected Dashimaru. Although he can't disobey Obito's order, he is absolutely unwilling to kill his most respected teacher. It's too late for me to win over an awesome scientist like Orochimaru, so how could I kill him? Obito waved his hand and said with a smile, my plan is this. You are the most familiar with Orochimaru, so you should be clear about Orochimaru's plan at this time. You should first sneak into Konoha village. When Orochimaru implements Konoha Honkai plan in the Chunin exam, you will come out to help Orochimaru. Be sure to protect his safety, let Orochimaru retreat completely, and kill Sarutobi Hiruzen. Pharmacist Doe breathed a sigh of relief when he heard the words, but was a little shocked immediately. I didn't expect Obito to be so clear about what happened in the future and Orochimaru's plan. Could it be that he can predict the future? In the end, you came forward to persuade Orochimaru to let him return to our Akatsuki organization, and said that I would give him unconditional support for him to do research. Take Soil Road. My subordinate understands, Yao Shido said respectfully to Obito. Konoha's politics have been completely ruined by Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo. Now Konoha's dark politics is up to you to subvert. You don't want Konoha to have orphans treated like you, right? Doe recalled everything that happened in his childhood. He couldn't help clenching his fists, and the hatred for Konoha in his heart was ignited again. Go, Kodo, not only Konoha, but the light and peace of the entire ninja world will be created by our new Akatsuki organization. Said with Soil seriously. Doe heard that his heart was shocked. Obito's words had touched his heart. He bowed his head and saluted solemnly, then left quickly. This subordinate will resign, and he will definitely complete the mission of the adults. A serious and solemn voice sounded. In a forest, at this time, the first generation of scientists in the ninja world, 3 generations of filial disciples, and Miyu's parents are researching a new type of curse seal. He. That kid from the Uchiha clan seems to be a good container, and it is very valuable for cultivation. Orochimaru has been secretly eyeing Sasuke, who has just graduated from the ninja school at this time, and is going to lure him to come and learn from him, and then let him become his own container after training him. And at this moment, a figure quietly appeared in the forest. His eyes just fell on Dashawan. HMPH, how dare you play Lao Tzu's idea, you really don't know how to live or die. Sasuke, who was summoned and had already opened the skeleton, had a cold light in his eyes, and stared at Orochimaru coldly. Hey, little snake, do you want to take Uchiha Sasuke as your new body? With a sneer on the corner of Sasuke's mouth, he asked. Orochimaru was taken aback when he heard the voice behind him, then quickly turned around and saw this young man who was similar to Sasuke. Who are you? How did you find it? Orochimaru licked his lips and said coldly. Don't you want to win Uchiha Sasuke? I am Uchiha Sasuke from the future, try to defeat me. Sasuke said lightly. Orochimaru's expression changed, but his heart was filled with turmoil. He never thought that such a strange person would appear under his nose, and it was absolutely unheard of an unseen to travel from the future. Ha, since that's the case, let me see how far you have grown, then you can go to hell. Orochimaru suddenly activated the hidden shadow snake hand and rushed towards Sasuke. Sasuke narrowed his eyes slightly and snorted coldly. A twinkle avoided the attack of Orochimaru, and then the figure turned into dozens of phantoms, and a series of fists fell on Orochimaru. Orochimaru was sent flying dozens of meters away, fell to the ground, and spurted out a mouthful of blood. How is this possible? Orochimaru looked at Sasuke in horror. This man is simply too strong, he has surpassed himself in physical skills, and his body has been injured. Orochimaru's strength is not top-notch here, but as an apprentice of the 3rd Hokage Hiruzuru Sarutobi, his strength is also at the cage level. Are you surprised? I was taught by you, Oshimaru-sensei. Sasuke said indifferently. Orochimaru laughed loudly when he heard the words, and said, Interesting, really interesting. I didn't expect that I actually taught such a strong disciple. Sasuke-kun, did I die in your hands in the future? Orochimaru was not surprised that Sasuke killed the master. After all, he also wanted to kill Sarutobi Hiruzen. It was killed by me, but you have been resurrected again. I have to say that your vitality is really stronger than that of cockroaches. Sasuke frowned. Hehe, I won't die by your hands. Orochimaru smiled sinisterly, and said, and don't forget, I taught you all your skills. You are a frog in a well, and you will never know how vast the world is. Hehe, Sasuke ignored Orochimaru's taunt. In the eyes of the eternal kaleidoscope, Sharingan turned, and said coldly, so, what about this? Orochimaru saw the kaleidoscope Sharingan in Sasuke's eyes, his body trembled with excitement, and hissed, that's right, this is the kaleidoscope Sharingan of the Uchiha clan. I must have your body, Sasuke. Amaterasu. Sasuke rolled his eyes, and the black Amaterasu fire began to burn Orochimaru's body. The black flames enveloped Orochimaru, and Orochimaru screamed in pain, but no matter how hard he struggled, he couldn't break free from Amaterasu's shackles. Orochimaru struggled in pain, and then his skin split open, and began to shed its skin like a snake. Fu. The molted Orochimaru barely escaped the burning of Amaterasu's fire. White phosphorus snake. Orochimaru roared. A puff of smoke came out of his body, and then he transformed into a huge white phosphorus python. White phosphorus, devour it. Orochimaru roared and rushed directly to Sasuke. Sasuke watched Orochimaru's transformation, the corners of his mouth slightly raised. HMPH, do you think you can defeat me with this trick? Lei Dun Kilin. Sasuke let out a low cry, condensed the power of lightning in his right hand, and swung out suddenly using his self-created S-level ninjutsu. A loud noise spread throughout the forest. The white phosphorus snake was instantly exploded by lightning, while Sasuke stood there unscathed. Orochimaru once again shed his skin and escaped Sasuke's ninjutsu, and then used the H-chi technique. Hachi no Jutsu is an S-rank forbidden technique of Orochimaru, which transforms into a giant white snake with 8 heads and tails. This is the biggest and strongest ninjutsu of Orochimaru, and it is also the incarnation of his long-standing persistence. The 8 heads of Orochimaru all opened their bloody mouths, spitting out poisonous mist. These toxins are all extremely poisonous. Sasuke sneered, and directly used the instant body technique to disappear. Orochimaru felt resentful and unwilling when he saw Sasuke escape. Where are you looking, little snake? My uncle is above you. Yamada no Orochi looked up when he heard the words, and saw Sasuke jumping up in the air and shouting, the third power, Susanoo. Sasuke opened the 4th form of Susanoo. Boom! Sasuke stepped on his right foot, and the soil under his feet was instantly flattened, and then his body quickly lowered. Seeing this, Orochimaru slapped Sasuke's Susanoo hard with its huge tail. At this time, Sasuke's Susanoo shot an arrow, which pierced through Orochimaru's Yamada no Orochi. Boom! There was a loud noise, and Orochimaru's huge tail was pierced by Sasuke's Susanoo. Orochimaru wailed in pain suddenly, and his body shrank rapidly. I knew your strength was extraordinary, but I didn't expect you to have reached the Kage rank, and you have Susanoo like Uchiha Itachi. Orochimaru gritted his teeth and said. Although Orochimaru was angry, he did not lose his mind. In his opinion, if he was strong enough and calm enough, he could still kill Sasuke. HMPH, now I know it's too late, Oshimaru-sensei. Sasuke's body fell slowly, and his Susanoo had almost disappeared. Chidori sharp gun, go to hell. Sasuke pierced Orochimaru's head with a flash of lightning. Orochimaru twisted his body and directly avoided the blow from the Chidori sharp gun. Seeing Orochimaru dodging his sword, Sasuke's eyes froze slightly. He didn't want to pierce Orochimaru's head with the shot just now, but wanted to use this blow to chop off Orochimaru's head. But this ray of thunder still penetrated Dashiwan's shoulder, piercing a bloody hole. Orochimaru endured the severe pain and stared at Sasuke, but Sasuke's eyes flashed coldly. Kusanagi took Chidori and slashed towards Orochimaru's head fiercely. Die! Sasuke roared. At this time, the cave door was opened, and the white-haired Junmaro broke in. Seeing that Sasuke was about to severely injure Orochimaru, he became very anxious. Skeleton Meridian 10-finger piercing bullet. The phalanges of the 10 fingers grown by Junmalu were shot out instantly like bullets. Using the ability of the bone veins, the phalanxes can grow infinitely. Even if all the phalanxes are shot out, they can grow again. Junmalu, as the holder of the bone vein, which is the limit of the blood successor of the Wei clan, can freely manipulate bone bud cells and osteoclasts, and can control the calcium concentration to form bones. Junmalu gives birth to bones that will directly penetrate the skin, and wounds that penetrate the skin can heal quickly. Tisk tisk tisk. Sasuke looked at the bone spur shot at him. Knowing that he couldn't take it hard, he sideways dodged Junmaro's attack. As we all know, among the 5 Odonin, only Junmaro has combat power, and the other 4 are useless. Although Toss and Sack are dubbed gods, they are actually pure waste. I will never let you hurt Orochimaru-sama. A cold light flashed in Junmalu's eyes, and he attacked Sasuke. Bone vein dance of iron flowers. Junmalu stretches out the long and thin bones, which are divided into 2 parts, thread and flower, and can draw out the spine to bind the enemy, making the enemy unable to move, and then attack with the strongest hardened bone as a spear. Bang 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 bang. The sound of bone spurs colliding with bones came and went, and Sasuke dealt with Kimimaro with a serious face. It's such a powerful force. It's really worthy of the bones. No wonder Orochimaru has always used you as his container before, Sasuke said while defending. He was secretly shocked by the strength of Junmaro in his heart, and lamented that if he hadn't killed Orochimaru back then, he would have been turned into a reincarnation container by Orochimaru. This is my ability. Master Orochimaru has always thought that my strength is not as good as yours, so he has always used you as his container. Now it seems that it may be true. Junmalu sneered. His bones were constantly intertwined into a huge net in the air, and then he rushed towards Sasuke. You will never be able to compare with me. No one can shake the glory of the Uchiha clan. Sasuke snorted coldly and said, that's not necessarily the case. I'll let you know how powerful I am. Look at the sword. Said Junmalu put his hands behind his back, and took out a sword from behind his back. This sword was silver in color, covered with scales, and there was a long silver antennae at the tip of the sword. There was a silver light shining on the blade. This sword was made of Junmalu's spinal cord and bone fluid. Junmalu brandished the bone knife. Bone vein Tsubaki dance. Sasuke raised his right foot slightly to step on the ground. His whole body jumped high, then kicked his leg suddenly. His body soared into the air, holding the Kusanagi knife with both hands, and aimed at Kimaro's chest to chop. Boom! Junmaro kicked the Kusanagi blade, and Sasuke's body receded. Bang bang bang. A few punches in a row, Sasuke and Kimimaro fought fiercely together. The weapon used by Kimimaro was his bone knife, and Sasuke had already mastered the kaleidoscope Sharingan, and could easily see through Kimaro's attack. Bang 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 bang. The figures of the two kept staggering, and a burst of energy spread outside the bodies of the two, causing the surrounding trees to collapse one after another, and one gully after another appeared on the ground. I'm really tired of playing. Sasuke frowned and said. His purpose was to kill Orochimaru, not to play around with Kimimaro here. Me too, Sasuke Uchiha, let me see what you can do. Junmalu roared. Curse Seal second form. Junmalu began to have black scars all over his body, and a bone tail grew out of his back. Bone Meridian Dance of the Eightfold Humulus. Junmalu let out a loud roar, and first used the bone knife as a weapon to stab Sasuke continuously at a high speed, and then jumped behind Sasuke, and grew sharp bones from the whole body and the ground to attack Sasuke. Is this all your strength? It's not very good. Sasuke sneered coldly, then shorted his body, escaped from Kimaro's attack, then drew out the Kusanagi knife in his hand, and went straight to Kimimaro. Boom! The two knives hit Junmalu at the same time, but did not cause any damage. Kimimaro continued to attack Sasuke without any hindrance. Boom! Junmaru punched Sasuke in the abdomen, but it didn't cause any damage to Sasuke, but Junmaru's own wrist was numb from the shock. This is impossible, Junmalu shouted loudly. I saw Sasuke turned on Susanoo, and the purple skeleton protected Sasuke. Enough playing, it's time to end. Sasuke sneered, and was about to activate Susanoo to kill Junmaro when a big white snake suddenly came out of the ground. Boom! Junmalu was slapped flying by the big white snake's claw, the big snake opened its mouth, spit out a white smoke, and then turned into an afterimage and escaped into the ground. Hateful! Junmalu shouted angrily after standing firm. The big white snake ran away. At this time, the big white snake came up from the ground again, and he opened his bloody mouth to bite Junmalu, who quickly raised his bone knife to block it. Clang! The bone knife collided with the big white snake, sparks flew everywhere, and cracks appeared on the bone knife. This is Junmalu's bones are overwhelmed. Your bones are too fragile. Sasuke looked at the Kusanagi knife in his hand, showing disdain. Quote, "Shut up!" Junmalu roared angrily, and the big white snake jumped back to the ground, showing its original body. Orochimaru and Junmalu looked at the people walking out of the big white snake with disbelief. Pharmacist Doe, why is it you? Yao Shido looked at the astonishment on Dashawan and Junmalu's faces, smiled, and said, Master Dashawan, Junmalu, don't be surprised, I came from the future. Sasuke at the side heard what Yao Shido said, and he knew it in his heart. It seems that Todo was also summoned by Obito, and that should be his companion. Doe, are you even going to betray me? A look of anger appeared on Orochimaru's face. Compared with Sasuke, Otonin and the five of them, Kabuki was the first orphan he adopted, and he really regarded him as his own. No, Oshimaru-sama, you have misunderstood. I am not here to kill you, on the contrary, I am here to protect you. Doe smiled. But before that, let me show you my size. Chakra knives appeared in Pocket's hands, and a slightly chilly voice sounded. HMPH, pretending to be a ghost, no matter what you say, as long as you dare to threaten Master Orochimaru, I will kill you. Ha ha, Yao Shido sneered, and turned into a big white snake again. The big white snake's teeth made a creaking sound, and then a gust of wind blew by. He opened his mouth and took a deep breath, and a cloud of ice mist gushed out of his mouth. Ice escape wind and remnant clouds great waterfall. The big white snake roared while exhaling. Immediately, a burst of icy rain fell from the sky, directly covering a boulder and turning it into an iceberg in an instant. It's amazing, it's worthy of being summoned by the Lord to be a powerhouse comparable to me. Sasuke glanced at the boulder frozen into ice sculptures in the distance, and secretly praised. Hee, that's just the basics. Doe said modestly. Orochimaru's eyes were also full of admiration. It seems that Doe should have learned all his skills. Do, you're so arrogant, don't you underestimate me. Junmalu said not to be outdone, and immediately, the bone knife in his hand was also unsheathed. He stepped on the ground with both feet, jumped up high, and then swung the bone knife in his hand to slash at the big white snake that had turned into a pocket. Doe raised his head to look at the bone knife that was coming, and swayed his body to avoid it. Whoosh whoosh, the bone knife slashed on the ice, making a piercing sound. Junmalu didn't stop his attack, he flashed his figure, and once again caught up with the fleeing pocket that turned into a big white snake. Clang, 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 clang. The bone knife left countless marks on Doe's body, but Doe continued to run away as if he didn't know the pain at all. This situation made Junmalu feel tricky. I don't believe it, I can't break through your snake skin. Junmalu roared, and a large number of bone spurs appeared in his hand again. Bone vein willow dance. Junmalu twisted his body, fluttering like a butterfly, and some fine bone spurs danced along with it. Puff puff puff. A large number of bone spurs pierced through the ice layer, and then penetrated the scales of the pocket. But to Junmalu's surprise, although his attack destroyed Doe's snakeskin scales, Doe walked out of the snakeskin unscathed after a while. This shocked Junmalu. Doe is actually so powerful, much stronger than before. It's not true. Junmalu muttered to himself. Haha, aren't you the most powerful subordinate of Orochimaru? Could it be that you can't even crack my level of moves? Doe mocked. No, Junmalu yelled. There were roars in his throat, and Junmalu stretched his body to the limit, and bone spurs continued to emerge from his body. Pharmacist Doe smiled faintly, and slapped the ground with both hands. Snake entrustment technique. Following the sound of Yao Shido, 4 huge snake tails stretched out from the ground, and whipped 4 thick snake whips towards Junmalu. Bone vein whirlwind bone spur. Junmalu roared angrily, and plunged the bone knife in his hand into the ground, and a burst of unparalleled vigor burst out from the blade, breaking through the ground in an instant. Bang bang bang. After a series of collisions, the whips of the 4 giant snakes shattered instantly, and then Junmalu inserted the tip of the knife into the ground. With this force, his body quickly lifted into the air, avoiding the whipping of the snake's tail. Whoosh, whoosh whoosh, Junmalu's figure changed direction again and again in the air. His speed was very fast, and he came to the side of the snake tail in the blink of an eye, and then he swung his fist and bombarded the snake tail. Junmalu punched the snake's tail, smashing a snake's tail to pieces. With sharp bone spurs all over his body, he ran towards the pharmacist desperately. Is this guy crazy? Seeing Kimimaro rushing over, Sasuke frowned and said. Junmalu's behavior is simply desperate. And his attack method is also very simple and rude. He doesn't pay attention to any skills at all, he only knows that his target is the enemy. Chakra knife, 1,000 machines and 100 slashes. Sharp chakra blades appeared on both sides of Pharmacist's arms. Whoosh, whoosh. With the wave of Medicine Master's hands, 2 sharp chakra blades instantly appeared on both sides of him, slashing towards Junmalu. Boom. Junmalu's fists collided with the 2 chakra blades, and there were 2 muffled sounds immediately. Junmalu's hand kept colliding with the bone spur knife and the chakra knife of Pharmacist's pocket, and the bone spurs all over his body were used as weapons to attack Pharmacist's pocket, and the pocket was barely parrying and constantly summoned White to help resist. The white snake looked for Junmalu's flaws, and would bite Junmalu once he was exhausted. Orochimaru watched the battle in front of him, with a worried look on his face. He didn't expect that after Doe's transformation, his strength would change so much, and he could easily resist Junmalu's attack. Although he didn't think that Dujin was his opponent now, Junmalu would be killed by Pharmacist sooner or later. Ding ding ding, ding ding ding, ding ding ding. There was a crisp crash sound. Blood holes appeared one after another on Junmalu's body, and the blood kept dripping on the ground. This level is not enough to win. Junmaro, you don't need to waste your energy, I won't let you die, as long as you are willing to join me and Sasuke's organization, I will cure your illness. Pocket said. Junmalu said with a grim face, you traitor actually betrayed Master Orochimaru and joined another organization. Even if I die, I will not surrender to you. Stubborn. Pharmacist shook his head helplessly. The chakra knife in Pharmacist's pocket was swung again, and a huge airflow rushed towards Junmalu. This airflow seemed to be corrosive, and the ground was corroded and sunken, and a puff of black smoke floated out. Is this the power Master Orochimaru gave you? You're too weak, and based on this alone, you are not qualified to see the peak scenery in this cruel world. Doe mocked. Then try and see which of us is stronger. As Junmalu said, he raised his right hand and clenched the bone knife again, turned his body over and disappeared. Whoosh. The next second, Junmalu appeared behind Yaoshido, and then swung the handle of the knife in his hand and slammed it down on Yaoshido's spine. Ding! There was a sound of metal colliding, and Junmalu slammed Yaoshido's spine with a knife. Suddenly, he felt the knife in his hand tremble. Junmalu's expression changed, and he immediately withdrew the knife in his hand, then stared at Yaoshido's back solemnly, feeling a little frightened in his heart. How is this possible? He was obviously injured. Why is there no change in his body, not even the slightest scar? Junmalu thought to himself. Ha 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 ha. Covering his head, he let out a burst of laughter and said, that's because I've shed the snake skin and transformed into a dragon. At this time, Yaoshido had initially mastered the immortal technique in Longdi Cave. The immortal chakra of Longdi Cave and his own self-healing ability were enough to quickly recover from any injuries. Hearing what Yaoshido said, Junmalu was taken aback for a moment, then reacted abruptly. It turned out that just now Yaoshido used the fairy art of Longdi Cave to quickly repair the wound on his body. I want to kill you, even if I die myself, I will let you and Uchiha Sasuke be buried with me. Junmalu shouted angrily. Then he jumped up suddenly, and rushed towards the pharmacist's pocket, and at the same time, one after another bony spears appeared beside him. Ding ding ding, ding ding ding, ding ding ding. There was a sound of collision, and the bone spur in Junmalu's hand kept attacking the chakra knife in the pharmacist's pocket. However, although Junmalu's bone spur attack was fierce, it didn't hurt Pharmacist at all. But at this time Junmalu's body had several shocking wounds, which pierced deeply into his body, causing him to vomit blood continuously. Seeing Junmalu getting more and more injured, Pharmacist Doe smiled. Ha 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 ha. Junmalu, I will send you on your way now. Pharmacist laughed wildly, the chakra knife in his hand shone brightly, and then slashed towards Junmalu. Boom. This time, Junmalu was pierced through his body heavily, and was sent flying tens of meters away, lying on the ground coughing up blood continuously. Cough cough cough. Is this the end? Junmalu's consciousness began to blur, and he remembered that when he was a child, he was regarded as a weapon by his tribe and locked up and raised. Then the Kagaya clan attacked Wuin village, and Junmalu was also released to participate in the resistance battle. Later, the whole Kagaya clan was wiped out, and because Junmaro was sick and unable to participate in the war, he survived. The surviving Junmaro was picked up by Orochimaru to be cultivated, and was taught and cultivated by Orochimaru. Therefore, Junmaro respected Orochimaru very much, and he was willing to become a container for Orochimaru to seize and reincarnate. No, I can't fall down yet, I want to protect Oshimaru-sama. Junmalu stood up as if returning to the light, his eyes were firm. Bone vein dance of early fern. Junmaro exhausted his last strength to release this ninjutsu. Junmalu's whole body penetrated into the ground, and then sharpened bones drilled out from the ground to attack Yakushido one after another. A large number of bone spurs basically covered the entire ground, like a forest of bones. It is also the last swan song of Junmalu's life. The third power, Susanoo. Sasuke came to Yakushido, opened the huge Susanoo, and protected Yakushido and himself in the armor of Susanoo. Swish 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 swish. Kimaro's bone spur hit Susanoo, but it did no damage. Seeing this situation, Junmalu's eyes flashed, and then he jumped into the sky suddenly, turned around, and the bone spur in his hand stabbed at the two people in Susanoo again. There was a crack in Susanoo's armor, and Kimaro's attack failed to break through Susanoo's defense after all. Seeing that Junmaro's attack had no effect, Yakushido and Sasuke breathed a sigh of relief. The figures of the two of them moved quickly, avoiding the range of the bone spur attack. Such a powerful ninjutsu, Pharmacist thought in surprise. He didn't expect Junmalu to be able to perform such a powerful ninjutsu. As expected of you, Junmalu. I haven't seen you for so many years. Your strength is much stronger than before. However, even so, it is still impossible for you to defeat me. The pharmacist snorted coldly. A look of determination appeared on Junmalu's face. His body was exhausted, and his own last vitality created a huge bone spear, and he clenched his hands tightly and stabbed Susanoo mercilessly. Boom! With a thunderclap, the bone gun in Junmalu's hand exploded. Boom! Thousands of sharp spears. A flash of lightning flashed. Sasuke's Chidori sharp gun shot through Kimaro's chest, nailing him to the ground, and the bright red blood flowed down his body, staining the floor red. Kimimaro, you are so powerful, you are finally dead. The pharmacist sighed. However, Junmalu's corpse can still be used to reincarnate in the dirty soil, and it is also useful for the Shao organization. Junmalu, you are still so stubborn after all these years. Yao Shido said. His body slowly floated into the air, and he stretched out his hand to grab Junmalu on the ground. Who? At this moment, a gust of wind blew past Yaoshido, causing him to tremble and fall down. Looking up, it was the embarrassed Orochimaru who came to Junmalu's body, looking at him and Sasuke with a gloomy expression. Do, I don't care what you want to do, you can't take Junmalu's body with you. Orochimaru said coldly. Ah, I see, it seems that Oshimaru-sama must have regarded me as an enemy. The pharmacist smiled. Hee. Orochimaru said with a dry smile. Soon after Uchiha Sasuke came to attack me, you came and killed Kimimaro, and you and Uchiha Sasuke are from the same organization. Do you think I will believe that you didn't come to kill me? I see. The pharmacist nodded. Then what exactly is your purpose? Orochimaru asked suspiciously. Master Orochimaru, haven't you always wanted to achieve immortality? Now is the right time to take this opportunity to join our Akatsuki organization. Now the Akatsuki organization has a new leader and a new goal. The leader said that as long as you join, you will unconditionally support your research, and... Pharmacist said. Yao Shido smiled slightly, and said bewitchingly, our new leader of the Shao organization can help you achieve eternal life. Eternal life. Orochimaru was secretly startled. The word, immortality, attracted him too much. Not only could it help him to research, but he could also achieve immortality. If he could succeed, he would definitely have an infinite lifespan. The allure of immortality is too great. Eternal life. Really? Is there really such a thing? Orochimaru asked in surprise. Really? The pharmacist nodded. In fact, he didn't know if Obito could do it, but since Obito asked him to win Orochimaru at all costs, he would do so. Sasuke on the side was also a little surprised. He didn't expect Obito to refuse to kill Orochimaru, which made him a little upset, but he also absolutely obeyed Obito's order and did not do anything to Orochimaru again. Orochimaru was silent for a moment, but still sneered, and said, "Then, why should I believe you? I have entered your Shao organization before, and it is just a crazy organization that wants to snatch the tailed beast." No, Oshimaru-sama, you are wrong. Doe shook his head and said, "The Akatsuki organization was created to bring peace to the ninja world." Ha 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 ha, created for peace. Don't you think this lie you made up is a little ridiculous? Orochimaru sneered. Master Oshimaru, what do you mean? Do you think my words have no basis? The pharmacist retorted. Orochimaru snorted coldly, and said, "Take the power of the tail beast to deter other ninja villages and the 5 major countries, what a piece." Hehehehe. Pharmacist laughed disdainfully when he heard the words, and said, "Master Orochimaru, I know that you are going to implement the Konoha collapse plan in the near future, and you also want to kill the 3rd Hokage Hiruzuru Sarutobi." Orochimaru's face was impassive, and he said, "How do you know?" Although our Akatsuki organization does not have all the information about Konoha, we also have other ways to obtain information. We have known the news that Oshimaru-sama wants to kill the 3rd Hokage Hiruzuru Sarutobi, but we have not revealed it. I see. Orochimaru nodded lightly, as if he was not surprised by what Yao Shido said. He. So can you continue to tell me now, do you know how to achieve peace in the ninja world? Orochimaru looked at the pharmacist and asked, "Master Oshimaru, what do you think is the technology you have been researching?" Fu asked rhetorically. Orochimaru was silent for a moment and said, "If you want to mock me, you don't have to. I know that technology is nothing compared to ninjutsu." No. Doe shook his head and retorted, "Master Orochimaru, don't you know the power of technology? The power of technology can change the entire ninja world." Ha 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 ha. Dashawan suddenly raised his head and laughed. He seemed to have heard the most ridiculous joke in his life. After he laughed, he stopped smiling and looked at Yao Shido with a sarcastic look. "You said that the power of technology can change the entire ninja world. Then, how can the power of technology change the ninja world? Why haven't I discovered that technology has such a powerful force after so many years of research?" Orochimaru smiled, his eyes full of contempt. "Master Orochimaru, your scientific research still hasn't made a breakthrough. At this time, you need the assistance of some external factors." Pharmacist Doe smiled slightly and said. Orochimaru frowned slightly. "You mean, I will make further breakthroughs with the research funded by your Akatsuki organization?" Pharmacist Doe smiled and said, "Yes." Orochimaru pondered for a moment, and said, "What you said makes sense. What I need is indeed some assistance. So, who is the leader of your Shao organization?" "Master Orochimaru, we will not tell you the identity of the leader of Akatsuki, but you will know in the future." Doe smiled. Doe suddenly said seriously, "Master Orochimaru, you are also a person who has experienced the 3rd Ninja World War. You should also know that Konoha village has been rotten in these years because of the 3 generations of Naruto Sarutobi and Shimura Danzo who were in power." "Of course I know," Orochimaru replied. "Then you also know that the status quo of Konoha village cannot last long. I believe this time will not be too far away. You should know that after the 3rd Hokage Hiruzuru Sarutobi was killed by you, the old thief Shimura Danzo will find a way to ascend to the position of Hokage. And don't you know the style of his root organization? His being Hokage will only make Konoha politics darker." "What do you mean?" Orochimaru asked suspiciously. "Konoha village will usher in an unprecedented reshuffle. A big shuffle. What does this sentence mean?" "Master Orochimaru, you should also know that although the ninja world has not seen such a large-scale war for a long time, it does not mean that the ninja world is really stable. Muya village has seemed peaceful and stable these years, and its internal politics are in dire straits. You should know, right?" Orochimaru nodded and said, I know. Then you should be very clear that even if you kill Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo, Konoha's senior management will still reselect the same Raden Hokage. Even if Tsunade becomes the 5th Hokage, the situation will not be much better. That, Shimura Danzo has been killed by Uchiha Itachi and me. Sasuke said suddenly from the side. Oh, that would be great. A gratified smile appeared on Yakushi's face, and said, Sasuke Uchiha, you did a good job. You are the best ninja I have ever seen, and you are also the ninja with the most potential. I hope you can become Konoha's Hokage and lead Konoha to the light. HMPH, let's leave troublesome things like Hokage to idiots like Naruto. Sasuke snorted coldly and said. Pharmacist Doe continued. Don't mention Konoha village, the other 4 major ninja villages even have darker internal politics than Konoha village, Oshimaru-sama, even if you have achieved immortality, but as long as there is no peace in the ninja world and a bright political system, people's lives will still be like grass and cannot be protected, so what's the point of the immortality you have researched? Orochimaru was finally persuaded by the pharmacist. He fell silent. Yoshido continued. Master Oshiwan, now is the time for you to think about the problem. Our Akatsuki organization will prepare everything for you as soon as possible. So what do I need to do? Your body still needs some time to recover, so you must retain your strength. The best time is only when your body has recovered almost. At that time, our Akatsuki organization will arrange everything so that Master Orochimaru can recover to the peak state as soon as possible. Okay, just do as you say. In addition, we will fully accompany you in your Konoha collapse plan. This time, we will not only kill Sarutobi Hiruzen, but all corrupt Konoha high-ranking officials. Said in a cold voice. Okay, I promise you, as long as Hiruzuru Sarutobi dies, I will hunt down all the rotten high-ranking members of Konoha village, and you can also successfully replace the high-ranking members of Konoha, and they will all be killed overnight. Orochimaru said grimly. Okay, then I'll wait for your good news. Well, then I take my leave. Yoshido saw that Orochimaru had agreed to join the Akatsuki organization, and a smile appeared on his face. By the way, I'm going to take Junmalu's body back, maybe I have a way to revive him. The pharmacist threw a scroll to Orochimaru while talking. Orochimaru took it curiously. This is my improved version of reincarnation of the unholy earth, you can take a look. The pharmacist said, oh, you actually improved the 2nd generation Hokage Senshu's forbidden technique dirty earth reincarnation. Orochimaru was surprised. Is there any difficulty in this? Pharmacist Doe said, and I also pass on my own experience to you. You should know what a great opportunity this is, and this is a very rare opportunity. Well, you're right, without you, I might not have gotten such a good thing. Orochimaru licked his lips and smiled. Looking at Shangdu's eyes, he became more and more appreciative. As expected, he brought it up since he was a child. The technology tree is also full, and inventions and creations are not a problem. Orochimaru looked at the improved version of Dirty Earth reincarnation in his hand with some fanaticism. Yakushido's improved Dirty Earth reincarnation can summon the dead to the strongest form before birth, and it also increases the controllability. Generally speaking, if there is no bug ninjutsu that forcibly changes the will of other gods or the perverted strength like Uchiha Madara Senju Hashirama, the control will not be released. It's so good, so I can safely summon the past generations of Hokage and the deceased big bosses of the ninja world. Orochimaru laughed. But are you sure you want to summon them? Although you now have the skills and experience to improve ninjutsu, this improvement is only limited to the reincarnation of the dirt, and you can't master the rest. Pharmacist Doe said, after all, their consciousness is still in the body. If you want to control them, especially like the first Hokage Senju Hashirama, you must not let them return to their peak state, otherwise you will not be able to suppress them. This is quite difficult, so you still need to do it yourself. Doe reminded. It doesn't matter. If I can really control them, I will definitely choose to do so. I'm just testing it now. I think their consciousness must still be in the underworld. I have already found the materials of their dead bodies. Orochimaru said confidently. Pharmacist Doe also showed a smile when he heard the words. Since Orochimaru is so confident, let him try it. The pharmacist took out a few spells and threw them on the ground, and quickly sealed them. The spell was reduced to ashes and burned. Then, a special ninjutsu pattern was formed. The ninja rune array can absorb the vitality of human beings and form a protective film on the user. The pharmacist introduced it. This is also my own ninjutsu. I will leave it to you to use it. You can use it for defense. Pharmacist Doe said and handed the prepared ninjutsu scroll to Orochimaru. You are such a genius. Orochimaru laughed. Then does this rune circle have other functions besides defense? Orochimaru asked. The pharmacist said, it can absorb the vitality of human beings. When Orochimaru heard it, his eyes lit up immediately. He took over the ninja rune array, and then studied it carefully. As expected of my proud student, even such a complicated thing can be made. This rune array can absorb the vitality of human beings. If it is used in battle, it can definitely bring a fatal blow to the enemy. Orochimaru accepted it with satisfaction. This is much more powerful than ordinary defensive ninjutsu. With this rune array, he can directly deal with Sarutobi Hiruzen, which can save a lot of time. He looked at the scroll in his hand. Orochimaru said, so, my plan is like this. Originally, without you and Sasuke joining, my Konoha collapse plan would be much more difficult to implement. Now that you have joined in the combat power, I will change the plan and try to kill Konoha Village High School. Uchiha Sasuke shook his head, and said, it's not just the two of us, there are Uchiha Itachi and Sarutobi Konohamaru, both of whom are also cage-level fighters, and they are also members of our Akatsuki organization. Orochimaru was stunned for a moment, then burst out laughing, and said, the Akatsuki organization is really interesting, sending me so many powerful helpers. I see what the little old Sarutobi Hiruzen will do then. Pharmacist Doe didn't speak. The task of the four of us is to assist you. You just need to follow the plan. We have other things to deal with, so we will leave first. After finishing speaking, Uchiha Sasuke and Yakushi Todo left. Orochimaru took the two scrolls given by the pharmacist and left contentedly. At this time, Obito is discussing with Nagato in Urinen village how to develop the economy of the country of Rain in the next step, and Nagato is introducing him to the economic situation in the country of Rain. In the past few years, we have been secretly fighting against Konoha and the major ninja villages. Although the war has stopped now, Konoha and the others have not given up on suppressing our Urin village, because our Rain ninja village has not surrendered to any of their names, so they sent their minions, the ninjas of the 5 major ninja villages, to deal with us secretly. Now I have transferred all our important industries in the country of Rain to the city near Urin village, which is Halen City, and have started to build our new city, and I am also preparing to start a new trade. I have already contacted some other forces, and I believe they will cooperate with me. Nagato said. So what's the next goal? Obito asked. The next thing we need to do is to build our own business empire here. Nagato said, I know we have a lot of ninjas here, and they are all recruited from various ninja villages. I have already purchased some weapons and equipment from them through various channels. Now these weapons and equipment have been equipped. Their weapons and equipment are more advanced than those of Konoha, and they are used differently from Konoha. If we want to survive here, we must have sufficient strength. So I decided to raise our strength to the highest state in the next few days, so that we can face various powerful enemies in the future. Nagato said. You mean we're going to fight? Obito asked. Nagato nodded and said, yes, fighting. Nagato pointed to several important cities in the Land of Fire, and said, for example, these cities in the Land of Fire almost take care of the delivery of all the salt mines in the ninja world. This is the largest source of profit for the Land of Fire. We can completely plunder their resources. After all, when we used to deliver goods, they also sent people to rob us. Obito frowned. Nagato's idea is impulsive, but if they follow Nagato's plan, it is indeed very feasible. After all, they have great power now, and they are already considered top figures in this era. This is indeed possible, but we still need to carry out more normal trade. I suggest that our country of Rain allocate more funds for industrial construction. Obito said, if this is the case, we can reduce our taxes and at the same time solve our food problem. Hearing Obito's words, Nagato nodded. He also thinks that the method of bringing soil is very good. But Nagato is not in favor of giving all the food to the factory, because the factory is too cheap, and they can earn a lot of money as long as they increase the production line and technical content on the basis of the factory. Your suggestion is very good. But I think industry should be the main body. As for industrial and commercial things, I think it can be handled by others, because in this era, besides factories, there are many other industries that can also make money, such as agriculture and commerce. Nagato thought about it. Said, I agree with your suggestion, and I will get this matter done as soon as possible. Obito nodded in agreement. Well, our industry can expand, but we can't ignore other industries, such as the medical industry, medicinal material industry, food industry, etc. All of these need money to maintain and invest. We can take advantage of this opportunity to purchase some commodities to improve our own economic level. In this way, our combat effectiveness will become stronger. Nagato wrote down all these, nodded heavily, and said, I see. After the two discussed many specific projects, Obito left. When Obito opened the door of the basement, he found Xiaonan standing outside, eavesdropping against the wall with his tender body. Xiaonan saw Obito coming out, her delicate body trembled, her pretty face lowered, not daring to look at her. Xiaonan, why are you here? Obito asked. Xiaonan lowered her head and said softly, I happened to pass by here and saw that you guys had been talking for so long inside. I was afraid that you would be tired and wanted to remind you to take a rest. Obito looked at Xiaonan's dodging gaze, and laughed a little. Don't worry, I won't harm Nagato. Next time I have a discussion with Nagato, you can go in and listen. As long as you don't have any wrong thoughts, I won't hurt you, and I can not only help Akatsuki achieve the goal of peace in the ninja world, but also resurrect Yahiko to reunite you in the future. Congratulations to the host for obtaining one Xiaonan's gratitude. When Xiaonan heard the words, her delicate body trembled slightly, she slowly raised her head, her beautiful eyes stared at Obito complicatedly, and she said after a while, thank you. This is the first time for Obito to observe Xiaonan's face closely. Xiaonan has a small almond-shaped face with white and tender face, phoenix teary eyes under her brows, soft purple thick hair, and icy muscles and bones. Even wearing a simple red cloud and black robe can't hide her upturned delicate body, and her cool temperament makes Obito a little fascinated. Xiaonan's beauty is very pure, without a trace of blemish, just like the snow lotus on the mountain that day, pure and flawless, holy and noble. Xiaonan has purple and soft hair. Although she is a little old, she is beautiful and delicate, but still looks extraordinarily beautiful and pure. Looking at Xiaonan, Obito suddenly had the urge to kiss him, and swallowed a mouthful of saliva involuntarily. Obito, you. Seeing Obito staring blankly at him, and the undisguised admiration in Obito's eyes, Xiaonan suddenly felt an unspeakable shyness in his heart, a blush appeared on his face, he lowered his head, and cried softly. Congratulations to the host for obtaining one Xiaonan's shy emotions. What? Hearing Xiaonan's shout, Obito woke up suddenly. Seeing Xiaonan's shy appearance, Obito quickly looked away, coughed a few times, and said, Xiaonan, I'm a little hungry at this moment, can you make something to eat? Xiaonan raised his head, looking at Obito with a pair of clear phoenix eyes. Obito felt a little unnatural all over, and quickly changed the topic. There should be a kitchen here, go find the kitchen yourself. Xiaonan said with a blushing face. Obito smiled bitterly when he heard the words, his now ruined appearance has indeed lost a lot of points, of course, his bad impression on Xiaonan before is also one of the reasons. Now that half of my face is disfigured, even if Lin is really resurrected, Lin may not be able to accept her. I am afraid that only a good friend like Kakashi will not dislike her. After secretly sighing, Obito smiled helplessly, and said, Xiaonan, don't be nervous, I know you like Yahiko, and I will resurrect him to make you a lover. Xiaonan was stunned for a moment when he heard this, but he didn't expect Obito to say that. However, even so, I still want to say, you are so beautiful, Xiaonan, I like you. Obito finally plucked up the courage to speak out, and secretly scolded himself for being too scumbag, but after all, it was the original owner who liked Lin, and he still prefers Xiaonan, the fifth sister with a good figure. When Xiaonan heard this, her delicate body trembled slightly. She had never heard Obito say that, nor did she think that Obito would express his love to her. Congratulations to the host for obtaining two Xiaonan's shy emotions. Seeing Xiaonan's expression, Obito shrugged helplessly, and no longer wanted to embarrass her, turned around and left. After Obito's figure completely walked away, Xiaonan came back to his senses, looking at the empty corridor with complicated eyes. Xiaonan's heart was beating a little violently, and his heart was in a mess. Konan kept telling herself not to sink, because it was just self-deception. When Obito used other gods to control Nagato, she wished to tear him apart. However, Obito did not hurt her and Nagato. Instead, he worked hard to make the Akatsuki organization flourish, and Obito's longing for peace in the ninja world made him seem to see Yahiko once. Xiaonan, what are you thinking? You must not have a good impression of him. Xiaonan kept admonishing herself in her heart, but even Yahiko and Nagato had never confessed to her. At best, she had a crush on Yahiko, and this was the first time she had this experience of being shown love here in Obito. She didn't want to become that kind of woman, but she couldn't control her affection for Obito, and even had an inexplicable expectation. She also had some conflicts in her heart. She was unwilling to accept Obito, but she had to admit that Obito really touched her heartstrings, and also saved and helped herself and Nagato. If Obito revived Yahiko in the future, then she and Nagato would owe Obito-sama's favor, and she didn't even do it. It seems that they can only promise each other with their bodies. Oh, Xiaonan, what are you thinking? Xiao Nanchao blushed, stomped her feet in embarrassment, and turned to leave. Nagato took the corner and deployed the direction, location and cooperation partners of Urinen village's trade. Nagato said, Yu Ninja Village has not yet had a very wide commercial influence in the ninja world. The most famous one in the ninja world is the goods trade and trade center Muya Village. The cargo transportation volume of Muya Village accounts for 30% of the total output of the ninja world. Among them, Konoha's grain production accounts for the highest proportion. The agricultural resources in Urin Village account for the lowest proportion, and a large amount of food from Muya Village needs to be imported. Kakuzu took over the topic. The item trade in Konoha Village is developing very fast, and the civilians and ninjas in Konoha Village are also very brave and full of fighting power. This is also an important reason why our ninjas need to improve their strength. Konoha's army is what we must defeat, and Konoha has a large number of people. We want to seize more wealth from them. I think we should focus on the business of the water country. Nagato said, although the overall economic strength of the water country is weak, it is very strong in terms of trade, and the quality of the products in the water country is very good, especially in terms of food and medicine. Moreover, the water country has a large population, and we can do a lot of things in this place. Kakuzu said, what you said is very reasonable, but I haven't thought about how to attack the country of water yet. Strike the country of water? Nagato asked doubtfully. Yes, Kakuzu nodded. We can get a lot of supplies from the land of water, such as oil, metals and coal mines. I believe these things from the land of water will definitely attract us. But this place is not suitable for building a trade center. Nagato shook his head and said, because this place is not suitable for building a trade center. After all, this place is too barren. There are only a few pieces of land, and there is no way to build a trade center, so it doesn't matter where the trade center is built. That's right, this place is indeed not very suitable for building a trade center, but that's not a problem. Kakuzu said, the country of water is located in a remote area, not everyone can enter here. People from the country of water can't get in, so we can hire a group of people. I believe that the hired people will make the country of water a rich country. Nagato said, and I heard that the population of the country of water is increasing very fast in this generation. Among the ninjas of this generation, we can use this generation of population to make an investment. After our investment is successful, we can obtain a lot of resources from the country of water. In this way, we can start to build a huge trade empire and bring the country of water into our sphere of influence. Nagato continued, I think we should establish a business group first. I think the leader of this group must be a very smart woman. She can help us improve this group, and she also has rich management experience and ability. She is the elite of our Akatsuki organization ninjas. I think Xiaonan will be in charge. The corner of Jiaodu's mouth twitched. Didn't he just want Xiaonan, his own person, to be the supreme leader of the trade power of the Kingdom of Rain by saying so much? As for going around like this, and the thought of Xiaonan, a woman who bought all her hard-earned rewards for detonating charms, made Jiaodu's heart bleed. Nagato glanced at Kakutsu, and continued, for the land of land. Nagato paused, and then said, the land of the land has a large population, and it is a country that we can directly eradicate. I think we should take advantage of the fire at this time. And I think this is the best time to attack the land of the earth, because the land of the earth has not developed its own light industry and agriculture in recent years, which has caused them to not even solve the problem of drinking water. We are far ahead of the land of water in terms of economy, technology and culture. Do it in their farming industry, and then do it in terms of trade, and take down all the businesses in the land of earth. By the time they react, we have already controlled their economy, weapons, and shops. Kakudo agreed. We can do this first, I think it is feasible. Nagato nodded in satisfaction. Then he said, although the land of earth is a first-class country in the ninja world, it is still not our opponent in terms of the number of ninjas. As long as we have an advantage here, I believe we will be able to break through the land of earth soon. Kakuzu asked, what about the country of water? The country of water also has a lot of ninjas, but the overall strength of the country of water is not as good as ours. Nagato said with a smile, although the overall strength of the country of water is not as good as ours, the country of water has a lot of resources. They have much more resources than us, and they also have many ninjutsu masters and witch doctors. This is extremely important to us. So the country of water is also our primary goal. Kakuzu said, you are right, we have to conquer the land of water first. Then, Nagato said again, not only that, we also have to deal with the country of wood and the country of thunder. In the ninja world of the country of thunder, our enemies are the country of wood and the country of thunder. I think we should take the initiative in the country of water. Although the country of wood and the country of thunder are not bad, the country of wood is the country we should deal with most now. Nagato said. Kadatsu nodded and said, yes, the country of wood is our greatest enemy. We must conduct a surprise attack on the country of wood from the country of water, and then deal with the country of thunder. Nagato smiled. I think we can send some spies to the country of water first, I think they will gain a lot. Jiaodu thought for a while, this is not bad. I've already made arrangements. Later, we will send a large number of people to the Kingdom of Water to investigate. I think the spies from the Kingdom of Water will definitely be able to find a lot of key information. Kakuzu said, we can issue some reward missions in the land of Earth. As long as there are enough rewards, then I think we will gain a lot of information. I think that the Kingdom of Wood and the Kingdom of Thunder should also know that we want to attack them. Then we can take advantage of the fire. That's right, we can take advantage of the fire to loot. Nagato said with a smile, we will use this opportunity to completely destroy the Kingdom of Water. Corner nodded. Nagato continued, we have a total spies. They are all elites trained by us. They are all very powerful, and they are all ninjas who are proficient in ninjutsu. I think they will complete the task perfectly. Okay, I can't wait to loot the wealth of the 5 major countries. Jiaodu smiled sinisterly. Host, since your summoned character Yao Shido harvested emotional points from Orochimaru during the mission, emotional points have been distributed to the host now. The voice of the system rang in Obito's mind. Obito really couldn't hold back anymore. Yao Shidoshi was really awesome, he could harvest as much emotional value as Orochimaru. Coupled with the emotional value harvested in the Akatsuki organization these days and the emotional value provided by Xiaonan just now, Obito can start a wave of 10 consecutive draws again. System, perform a 10 consecutive draw. Obito said to the system. Start 10 consecutive draws. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 100 gold coins. Congratulations to the host for getting the blueprint of the T-34 medium tank. This is not bad. Obito's eyes lit up. The T-34 medium tank is one of the most famous tanks during World War II, and it was also the best and most famous medium tank during World War II. Because of the powerful firepower and sturdy shell of the T-34 tank, Germany could not destroy it. But this kind of tank is not suitable for a single offensive weapon or combat unit, and because of its huge body, there are big problems in the tank's rate of fire and the range of the artillery. Even so, Obito was still very excited. When Orochimaru came to the Akatsuki organization, Nagato was asked to find a group of ninja scientists to create a tank army. Obito can already imagine the scene of the ninja steel torrent. Congratulations to the host for drawing 100 ninja jade. Congratulations to the host for winning a Playboy suit. Congratulations to the host for being a member of a certain station for January. Congratulations to the host for winning 100 Yellow River Carp. Congratulations to the host for winning the guaranteed reward. Machine Warrior King Lolo has been summoned to the ninja world for you. Lolo, king of returning opportunities, this should be that brat. Obito was stunned, cold sweat broke out on his forehead. The system was getting more and more capable of making troubles, not only called pigmen, but also Luo this time. I just don't know whether Lolo came to the ninja world alone or brought his army of motorcycle tribes. If he came with an army of motorcycle tribes, Obito would have the strength to single out Rokudo Madara. Boom. As usual, a puff of smoke cleared away, and a little Shamat boy in a blue armor suit appeared just like that. At the same time, in the world of Lolo's adventures, Lolo passed out after the final battle with Jingjing. He thought that he would be able to return to the human world after defeating the final boss Tyrannosaurus, Wild Gorilla, and Tiger King. Unexpectedly, when he woke up and opened his eyes, he did not return to the earth, but came to a strange space. There is no sunshine, no white clouds here, not even birdsong, only the whistling of the wind. There are no trees, no flowers, nothing. The only thing that can be called there is Luo himself, who is sitting on the ground blankly, looking at the sky, with no expression on his face. In the first few days when he came here, he still yelled anxiously, wanting the Thunderbolt Vanguard and the others to come and save him, but as time passed, Luo gradually calmed down, and he even forgot the concept of time in this space. At this moment, a breeze blew on Luo's cheeks. Luo looked up at the sky, and found that the original blue sky turned black at some point, and dark clouds floated from a distance, covering the crescent moon in the sky. In an instant, Luo felt that the whole world became extremely dark. How did it become like this? Luo frowned. Just when Luo was puzzled, there were bursts of rumbling thunder in the distance. Luo raised his head and looked towards the sky, only to see thunder and lightning, as if the sky had collapsed and the earth had fallen. Luo looked into the distance, feeling a sense of fear faintly in his heart. He felt that the sky would collapse at any moment. Boom, boom. Bursts of muffled thunder kept ringing, deafening, and above the sky, dark clouds rolled endlessly. In an instant, the sky was shrouded in thick dark clouds, as if the end was coming. Luo looked up at the sky, seeing the dark clouds. He couldn't help feeling terrified. What the hell happened? Luo muttered to himself. Is it going to rain? Luo looked up at the dense dark clouds in the sky, filled with fear in his heart. This wretched place was really driving him crazy. Rumble. Suddenly, there was an explosion of thunder, and immediately after that, a bolt of lightning pierced the sky and struck towards Luo. Looking at the lightning, Luo turned pale with fright. He quickly closed his eyes. No, don't. Luo closed his eyes and shouted loudly, but the speed of the lightning was so fast that he came to Luo in the blink of an eye. Boom. Accompanied by a huge explosion, Luo only felt the darkness in front of his eyes, and then he didn't know anything. Tyrannosaurus God, what the hell happened? How did Lolo become like this? A figure of a huge dragon covering the sky and covering the sun landed beside the charred and blackened Luo. This figure was the Tyrannosaurus God. And out of the Tyrannosaurus God's chest came out a pretty little yellow-haired girl in a pink dress. It was Jingjing. Seeing Luo's miserable state, Jingjing immediately jumped off the Tyrannosaurus God anxiously and landed next to Luo. Lolo, wake up, you can't die. Jingjing sees that Luo is unconscious and unresponsive. Her eyes are filled with tears. Little girl, don't cry, I'm saving him, he won't die. Tyrannosaurus God patted his chest and said, walking to the side of the two, although Luo is miserable now, but Tyrannosaurus God is not worried, because Luo is the king of mechs after all, and can also absorb the energy of their fierce beasts. Hidden energy in the back. The Tyrannosaurus God pulled out the hidden energy from his back and placed it on Luo's chest, and Lolo actually began to absorb the hidden energy from the Tyrannosaurus God's back, and his injuries gradually recovered at a speed visible to the naked eye. After a while, Luo's injury healed completely, and he slowly opened his eyes. Luo, you're awake. Jingjing shouted in surprise, and when she saw Luo opened her eyes, her heart sank. Luo opened his eyes and saw Jingjing, who was full of anxiety, was stunned for a moment, and a smile appeared on his immature but handsome face. He stood up, stretched his muscles and bones, and said, "Jingjing, we met again unexpectedly. Do you remember? You idiot, I'm just afraid that you will have no opponent after you die. Who will think about you?" Jingjing's pretty face flushed, and said a little arrogantly, "Oh, well, then I'm leaving now, you play slowly." Luo Luo smiled faintly, turned around and was about to leave. Seeing this, Jingjing hurriedly shouted, "Wait a minute, I still have something to ask you." Li Yun stopped, turned around and asked, "Is there anything else?" "You are not allowed to go, come quickly." Jingjing stomped her feet and said. Hearing this, Luo Luo walked up to her and asked, "What's the matter?" Jingjing caressed her smooth chin and pondered. "Luo Luo, do you still remember what happened after the last battle where you led the motorcycle clan and I led the beast clan?" Luo Luo scratched his head and said, "Ah. Well, I remember that I passed out and woke up to this ghost place." Jingjing lowered her toes, thought for a while and said, "I was also in a coma at the time, but when I woke up, I found that I hadn't returned to the human world, but was still in the game world. I was about to collapse at that time. Fortunately, the Tyrannosaurus and the others recognized me as the queen of the beast clan. After that, I couldn't find you for a long time, and the motorcycle clan couldn't find you. They were all in a hurry. I wondered if you had returned to the human world, so I told the Tyrannosaurus and Thunderbolt about our origin. In the end, the tornado took out the treasure that Energy City has, the space locator, and Tyrannosaurus and Tiger King charged the space locator with energy amethyst, and then the Tyrannosaurus escorted me into the space." Jingjing sighed helplessly. "The coordinates I located at that time were your location. I thought that as long as I could find you, I would be able to find the human world. Who would have thought that I would come to such a ghostly place?" "Ah, Jingjing, you mean you created that space crack in the sky?" Luo Luo asked with black lines all over his head, so Jingjing was the direct cause of his being struck by lightning. "Ah, ha. Jingjing also knew what Luo Luo was angry with, so she could only smile embarrassedly. "Oh, that's right, all in all, am I not safe now?" Hearing what Jingjing said, Luo Luo couldn't help feeling relieved. "It's a big deal, let's use the space locator to return to the game worldom, and then think of a way. Yes, you are indeed safe, but we are not so lucky to go back." Jingjing shook her head. Luo Luo asked suspiciously, "What's going on? Could it be that your energy is not enough to pass through this void?" Jingjing nodded and said, "That's right, my energy can only be used for one teleportation, and now I've used it up once, and I haven't come to replenish it urgently, so there is no way to continue to use the space locator." Luo Luo was a little worried when he heard the words, "Then what should we do now? We can't go back to the game world, so can we just wait here?" "I don't know, but let's figure it out." Jingjing said helplessly that this was actually what she was most worried about. "By the way, Lolo, you had the opportunity to attack me directly at that time. Why didn't you let Human Torch and Vanguard take action? As long as I'm dead, Tyrannosaurus and the others won't be able to get the energy amethyst supplement. Otherwise, you motorcycle race could have won directly." Jingjing asked suddenly. "Huh, because you are my best friend. Although I can't understand your stinky temper, for me, even if I am killed by you, I will not kill you," Luo Luo said with a strange expression on his face. Hearing what Luo Luo said, Jingjing lowered her little head, her delicate earlobes were crystal clear, and her little face turned red. After being silent for a long time, a smile appeared on the corner of Jingjing's mouth, and she said softly in a gentle tone, "Luo Luo, look at me." "Huh." Luo Luo looked at Jingjing strangely, wondering what kind of plane she was messing with. Jingjing raised her head, her delicate face was blushing, she hugged Luo Luo with a little blurred eyes, and said, "Thank you." Then her pink lips directly bit Luo Luo's lips. Woo. Luo Luo's eyes widened, she didn't expect Jingjing to make such a move. Luo Luo's brain was confused for a while, his heart beat faster, and he didn't dare to turn his head, allowing Jingjing to kiss. After a long time, Jingjing let go of her lips. Looking at Luo Luo's dull expression, Jingjing smiled slightly and said, "Luo Luo, I was wrong before, and I shouldn't have treated you that way. I will try my best to correct it in the future." Luo Luo froze for a moment, then said, I didn't blame you, why should you explain to me? Jingjing pursed her lips, and said with some embarrassment, am I afraid that I will be hated by you in the future? Hate, what did you say? Luo's face is also flushed now, and he doesn't know how to face Jingjing. It is said that girls mature earlier than boys, and both of them are only 11 years old. Luo never expected that Jingjing would kiss her so boldly. This is definitely a puppy love. The Tyrannosaurus god on the side looked at the swaying and lingering appearance of the two, covered his old face and couldn't bear to look at it. Jingjing also gradually came back to her senses, her pretty face was flushed again, and her little head was so shy that steam was coming out of it. Luo looked at Jingjing in bewilderment. In the past, he only regarded Jingjing as his rival and best friend, but after going through the game world, the relationship between the two seems to have sublimated. Lolo, that was my first kiss, you have to be responsible for me. Jingjing said in a low voice. Luo's eyes widened, and he said, you forced me to kiss you, why aren't you responsible for me? Your words are too hurtful. Are you unwilling to take responsibility just because I forced you to kiss you? Jingjing said aggrievedly, am I really such a miserable girl? Well, then I will be responsible to you. Luo said speechlessly. HMPH, that's pretty much the same. Jingjing raised her head proudly, whether we get married or break up in the future, I can only propose it, and you can only owe me, understand? You are too unreasonable, Luo said angrily, no matter what, we are still friends. Now, even if we are lovers, I have to listen to you anyway. You are the one who dominates me in everything. Just because I'm a girl, just because you never beat me. Jingjing snorted and said arrogantly. Depend on. Luo was anxious, and said, then you are really a domineering girl, I don't believe that I can't beat you in this lifetime. Haha, this didn't happen overnight. When you grow up, you will know that your small body is not at the same level as my strength. Jingjing said with a smile. Girls are precocious after all, Jingjing is also an old driver, and Luo is definitely no match for her when it comes to driving. Chapter 51. Lolo, King of Machine Wars, Jingjing, Queen of Beasts, do you want to leave this space? An electronic sound sounded, waking up the two who were embracing each other. You, who are you? Jingjing was so frightened that she looked around, but she didn't find anyone. With hostility in his eyes, the Tyrannosaurus god roared angrily, who is this sneaky person who has the ability to come out? Luo frowned slightly, and said, who are you, and what exactly do you want to do? You can call me the system. I brought you into this space. Don't worry, I have no malicious intentions, and I can help you return to the human world. After Luo and Jingjing looked at each other, Luo said in a deep voice, tell me, what exactly do you want us to do, and how can we return to the human world? The system said, that's it. The human world you are in is one of the countless planes, and the game world of Mecha Warlord is also one of the countless planes. Originally, you would not be able to return after traveling through the past. Now I summon you to this system space to give you two choices. The system increased its voice and said, first, you will go to a plane called Ninja World, and I will give you mandatory orders. You must obey the orders of a man named Obito Uchiha. After he completes the task, I will help you return to the human world where you are. Second, you can also choose not to help me with this favor, but in this case, I can only send you back to the game world of King of Warlords. As for whether you can return to the human world where you are, then I have nothing to do with it. After hearing the system's words, Luo and Jingjing fell silent. They don't know what to do. The system is not in a hurry. After a while, Luo said, I choose to go to the ninja world. I don't want to stay in this space, and I don't want to go back to the world of Mecha Warlord. I want to go back to the human world to find my parents. I need your help. I made the same choice. I don't want to stay in this space anymore, and I don't want to go back to the world of King of Warlords. Jingjing continued Luo's words. Okay, very good, you two are very witty and smart, don't worry, as long as you promise to help me complete the task, I will definitely send you to the human world. Luo nodded and asked again, what do you want us to do for you? The system said, it's very simple, I want you to take the motorcycle and beast warriors from Mecha Warlord world to the ninja world to find Obito Uchiha. Remember, you must obey his orders and help him complete the task. After the system finished speaking, it activated its own ability. Lolo, Jingjing, and Tyrannosaurus God flashed with light, and then the space behind them distorted and disappeared. In the world of Naruto, Obito saw a puff of smoke dissipate, and 3 figures appeared in front of his eyes. Obito did recognize Luo at a glance, but what the hell is that little blonde girl and that robot dragon? Didn't you agree that there is only one Lolo? Ahem, I am Obito Uchiha, and you are? Obito asked. When the 3 of them heard that this was Obito Uchiha, they couldn't help being stunned for a moment, and then the system began to enforce a ban in the minds of the 3. Do not disobey Obito Uchiha. It was only then that Luo and the others realized that they were really on board a thief ship. Luo and Jingjing looked at each other, and they both saw helplessness in each other's eyes. Hi brother Obito, I'm Lolo. Lolo said. Jingjing sighed helplessly and said, I am Jingjing. The Tyrannosaurus God touched his big head, and imitated the introduction, I am the Tyrannosaurus Dragon God. Obito, well, even Jingjing and Tyrannosaurus are here, so I don't know if Thunderbolt and the others are here. Just as Obito was thinking this way, the space behind Luo and the others tore open again, and several figures walked out of it. Lying on the grass, Obito looked at the several robots walking out, and couldn't help but widen his eyes. You are. Several robots looked at each other and began to introduce in turn, I am Thunderbolt. I'm the Vanguard. I am the handsome Hot Wheels. I am Tiger King. I am the Blue Poisonous Beast. Blue Poisonous Beast. At this time, the robots of the Locomotive Clan and Tiger King discovered that the Blue Poisonous Beast was also coming, and immediately united the front. Blue Poisonous Beast, you paratrooper, I will kill you. Tiger King roared. Ahem, don't do anything yet, everyone will be members of an organization from now on. Soil Blocking Road. Seeing that Obito said so, Tiger King and several motorcycle warriors stopped unwillingly. Obito looked at the red robot and said with a smile, haha, you are the Human Torch, you are really handsome and suave. Hehe, where, how dare I compare with adults? Thunderbolt Huo said modestly. Obito waved his hand, signaled Lei Ting-Ping Huo and others to sit down, and said, don't be polite, you are not familiar with the ninja world, let me introduce you to the ninja world, and by the way tell you what you are going to do in the future. After everyone sat down, Obito began to introduce the ninja world, and gave them a detailed introduction to their location and some related situations here. Is this the ninja world? Jingjing exclaimed in amazement. Luo also did not expect that there are so many magical ninjutsu in the ninja world, the arrival of the 5 great ninja villages and Itsuki, the stories of the 9-tailed beasts, the sage of the 6 paths, and the grievances between Senju and the Uchiha clan all fascinated him. Obito smiled and said, of course, you will see more amazing things in the ninja world in the future. Of course, there are many dangers in the ninja world, you have to be careful. Jingjing said, we will definitely be careful, thank you for your reminder. Obito said, since you have promised me, you must keep your promise. I also hope that you can complete the tasks I entrusted to you as soon as possible in the future, so that you can return to the human world and the game world of King of War as soon as possible. Jingjing said, I will. Luo also said, I will also complete this task as soon as possible. Obito nodded. Uchiha Obito glanced at Human Torch, Blue Venom, and Tyrannosaurus. Several people were shocked, not knowing what Obito meant. My lord, is there any task for us? Thunderbolt asked tentatively. The Blue Poisonous Beast said, my lord, don't worry, no matter what task you give us, we can complete it. Obito was silent for a moment, looked at Tyrannosaurus and said, Tyrannosaurus, I have thought about it for a long time, you are the only robot that can fly, and you still have a lot of power, so you should help build the infrastructure for Urinin village first. Tyrannosaurus, Lolo, Pillahuo and Jingjing were also stunned, they didn't expect Obito to let Tyrannosaurus go to work in Urin village. Not only them, but even the Blue Poisonous Beast Tiger King was stunned. The Tyrannosaurus god said with a blank face, Sir, why do you let me work? I have a very high combat effectiveness. Wouldn't it be nice for me to help you fight? Hehe, that's not acceptable. If I tell you to go, you can go. Where is there so much nonsense? Don't you want to violate my order? Obito said with a serious face, with a hint of anger in his tone. He has not been questioned by anyone, especially by a robot. Tyrannosaurus God closed his mouth and didn't dare to say anything more. Thunderbolt, Vanguard, you two are the fastest, and you can help deliver supplies to your village. After a while, you can find the person in charge of trade called Xiaonan, and you can help him transport the supplies. Obito looked at Thunderbolt and Vanguard and said, "Ah, this." Human Torch and Vanguard were speechless for a while. They have never been exposed to this kind of task. In the past, the two were generals of the motorcycle race, but they did not expect to become captains of the transportation team today. Okay, it's decided like this, you two can make arrangements now. By the way, you two don't need to tell others about your background. Yes, the two of them responded helplessly in unison. Obito looked at Fenghalan and said, Hot Wheel, you have a very flexible mind, so you and Luoluo go to investigate information about the ninja world. Okay. Fenghalan was naturally very happy when he heard that he didn't have to work hard. Luoluo, you and Jingjing were originally game masters, so you should go find a man named Nagato and help him make suggestions for the construction of your village. Obito said. Jingjing and Luoluo nodded and did not refuse. My lord, what about us? The blue poisonous beast Tiger King asked. You guys, you can't fly, and your maneuverability is not high, so you should report to the security department of your village. What, are we going to be security guards? The blue poisonous beast Tiger King asked in surprise. No, it's the guards. Anyway, if you can fight, you should be responsible for maintaining the peace of your village. Obito said. The blue poisonous beast Tiger King couldn't help but heave a sigh of relief when they heard this. Although they didn't want to be too tired, they didn't like to work like the Tyrannosaurus Dragon God Thunderbolt, because they were used to fighting in the original world of King of Machine Fighters. Now they can be guards, he is naturally happy. Obito looked at the blue poison beast Tiger King and said, Blue poison beast, remember to set up more traps around you ninja village. If other ninja villages want to attack us, we must let them come and go, and use all your insidious and cunning skills. Seeing everyone's strange faces, the blue poisonous beast could only nod awkwardly. He knew what the insidious and cunning ability that Obito referred to meant, and he had used this method to deceive many people in the original world before. Obito looked at the weird expressions on everyone's faces, and continued with a smile, Don't be convinced, heroes don't ask where they come from. Although the blue poisonous beast was a sinister villain before, a villain has the role of a villain, as long as he is doing things for our Shao organization now. My lord, don't worry, we will definitely do our best to complete this task. The blue poisonous beast Tiger King quickly patted his chest to assure him. Well, you don't have to be humble, since you can become the villains in the world of King of Machines, then your own strength must not be much worse. Obito nodded in satisfaction and said, You are waiting for my order here, and you are not allowed to leave Urinin village for half a step. The blue poisonous beast Tiger King hastily nodded in agreement. Well, then I won't delay your work, you go back and rest first. Obito waved his hand. Yes, the blue poisonous beast Tiger King and the others quickly nodded in agreement, turned and left. Thunderbolt, Vanguard, you two, go too. Obito said. Yes, okay. The two agreed in unison. Obito watched the two leave, and then looked at Luoluo, Jingjing, Hot Wheels, follow me to find Nagato. Okay, I will obey your lord's orders. Lolo nodded. Okay, then let's go now. After a while, Obito settled down all Luoluo and his party. The development of Shao organization is basically on the right track. Xiaonan is in charge of trade, Kakato and Nagato are in charge of economic development and major policies, Diderafe Duengxi and the others are still in charge of catching tailed beasts. Calculating the time, Orochimaru's Konoha collapse plan is about to start. Obito calculated the time, and now the Chunin exam over Konoha has started. It's time to go to Konoha to make trouble. Obito's body escaped into the Kamui space and disappeared. Pigman, wake up, we have big things to do when we go to Muya village. As soon as Obito entered the Shinwei space, he quickly woke up Pigman. Ah, what's the big deal, brother, I'm sleeping Zhengxiang, who is calling me? Pigman rubbed his sleepy eyes and sat up, asking in a daze. Obito rolled his eyes, this guy is really a lazy pig. Pigman, wake up, let's go to Konoha to make trouble. Okay. Pigman also woke up after hearing the words, dressed and washed, and then followed Obito. Konoha. Haha, Orochimaru, I said why didn't you separate us, so you wanted to wait for the opportunity to put your life in our hands, right? Asuma led a group of elite Junin from Konoha village to surround Orochimaru. Konoha's Zongnin exam this time is roughly similar to the original book, except that Naruto did not participate, Neji was not defeated, and the rest remained almost the same. When the Zongnin exam was about to end, Orochimaru's Kazekage Rasa also showed his true colors and fought against the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruza. The difference is that this time Orochimaru didn't let his subordinates maintain the 4 purple flame formation to trap the third Naruto Sarutobi Hiruzen, so the Anbu and elite Jonin below saw it, and rushed to hurt it. After all, there is no seal, so it can't be too obvious. He, that's really stupid. Orochimaru looked at the group of shrimp soldiers and crab generals in front of him, couldn't help but licked his lips and laughed. Oshimaru, tell me honestly, did Danzo die in your hands? Hiruzuru Sarutobi asked with a gloomy face. The Roots were attacked a few days ago, and many people were killed and injured. After Sarutobi Hiruzen and others arrived, they found that there was almost nothing but a large piece of ruins, and Danzo was gone. The pile of ashes on the ground seemed to be his. This really scares the group of Sarutobi Hiruzen enough. No matter how he thought about it, Hiruzuru Sarutobi couldn't believe it. His old enemy would be killed right under his nose, and he didn't even leave the body. He didn't feel sorry for Danzo's death, but Danzo's death meant that someone wanted to attack him, Hokage. How could he not be angry? So what if Danzang is dead? He deserves to die. Don't blame me for everything, okay? He has as many enemies as you, old man, even if I didn't kill him, someone else will kill him. Orochimaru sneered. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face became more and more gloomy. He didn't expect Orochimaru to dare to say such a thing, but he couldn't refute anything, he could only grit his teeth and said, Oshimaru, no matter what Danzo says, he is the backbone of Konoha like me, even if you don't like him, you don't need to be so eager to kill him, right? Ha 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 ha. Orochimaru laughed wildly when he heard the words, and said darkly, Mr. Sarutobi, you are really old. Do you think you are still the third Hokage you used to be? Since the death of the fourth Hokage, Konoha has been messed up by you and Danzo. You should have died long ago. Oshimaru, what did you fool say? Asuma blushed and growled. Hiruzuru Sarutobi said with a gloomy face, no matter what you want to do today, I can't let you go again. The last time I let you go, I didn't expect you to cause so much trouble for Konoha these years. Wrong, you are the one who will die today. As Orochimaru's voice fell, Hiruzuru Sarutobi suddenly had an ominous premonition in his heart, and as expected, a huge eagle flew in the sky, and there were 3 figures standing on top of the eagle, and the 3 figures fell from the sky and landed next to Orochimaru. You are. Kakashi next to Asuma couldn't help but widen his eyes. These 3 familiar figures are exactly Uchiha Sasuke with Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan, Uchiha Itachi and Yakushido in a half-snake cloak state. That is, Sasuke Uchiha, who was preparing to chase Gaara in the Chunin test competition, saw this scene and gave him a great shock. That man, you can't be wrong, that's Itachi. Sasuke Uchiha, who was still a ninja, gritted his teeth and looked at his brother. What surprised him even more was that the person next to his brother looked too much like him, especially the pretentious temperament that even made him feel that this was him. Could it be that he is my half-brother? Thinking of this, Uchiha Sasuke felt a storm in his heart. He never knew that he had other brothers. This incident was simply too shocking, and he couldn't accept it now. Not only him, but Kakashi and others also looked shocked. Kakashi asked tentatively, you are Uchiha Itachi and... It's expected, Sasuke said forcefully. Pharmacist Doe still had a gentle smile on his face and did not speak. How can that be possible? Kakashi and the others' pupils shrunk. You are Uchiha Sasuke, who is this next? But I have to say that the two look so much alike, as if they were grown-up Sasuke. Wait, Kakashi seemed to realize something, and asked, you're not Sasuke from the future, are you? As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. Well, almost, Sasuke said. Hearing what he said, everyone's 3 views were subverted. This kind of thing is simply unheard of. This is me when I grow up. Sasuke in the ninja period below was also dumbfounded, and didn't know what to say. Sasuke, are you going to betray Konoha village like Orochimaru and the others? Kakashi said somewhat seriously. There was a sneer at the corner of Sasuke's mouth, and under the shocked eyes of everyone, the eternal kaleidoscope Sharingan began to rotate. It was Konoha who betrayed my Uchiha clan first. Sasuke yelled and opened the purple Susanoo directly. Seeing the giant Susanoo in the Yadengu armor on Sasuke, everyone couldn't help but shudder, as if thinking of the scene where Obito abused himself at that time. Okay, so amazing, is that the future me? Shinobu Sasuke blushed excitedly when he saw this scene, but he was a little puzzled immediately. Why am I standing with Itachi? Have I let go of my hatred for Itachi? How is this possible? Hiruzuru Sarutobi also had an ugly face when he saw this scene. The last time he was slashed by Obito is still vivid in his memory. This time he will probably die again this time. Itachi Uchiha, are you betraying the village too? Sarutobi Hiruzen estimated in his heart that Sasuke already knew the truth, so he felt hatred towards Konoha. Are you going to make the same mistake as your father? You are doing this to destroy Konoha's peace for so many years. Hiruzuru Sarutobi shouted sternly. 3 generations, it is for the peace of Konoha village that you must die. Uchiha Itachi said coldly. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt a sense of powerlessness in his heart. He knew the fighting power of Itachi and Orochimaru. This Uchiha Sasuke can open the kaleidoscope Sharingan, and his strength is at least at the cage level. That Yakushido doesn't know how strong he is, but he doesn't look like a good stubble. Now that Konoha Sannin and the other 2 are not in the village, it seems that he is definitely going to die today. Since you want to kill me, then I will send you to hell first. Boom. After all, Hiruzuru Sarutobi flew towards Itachi Uchiha in a flash. His speed was extremely fast, and the moment he just moved, the whole person had appeared in front of Uchiha Itachi, and he punched Uchiha Itachi hard on the head. Uchiha Itachi was also unambiguous, and immediately reached out to block Sarutobi Hiruzen's fist. Boom! The fists of the 2 collided with each other, making a loud noise, and the strong wind blew the dust around. Snort! Hiruzuru Sarutobi let out a cold snort, and kicked out his right leg swiftly, straight for Itachi Uchiha's abdomen. He used all his strength in this kick, which was enough to break any steel plate. Uchiha Itachi's face was solemn. He lowered his body to avoid the attack of Sarutobi Hiruzen, then he raised his legs suddenly, and went straight to Sarutobi Hiruzen's chest. At the same time, in the blink of an eye, Uchiha Itachi formed 7 seals, and flames spewed out from his mouth. Fire escape great fireball art. As Uchiha Itachi's voice fell, the air in front of him suddenly burst into flames, turning into a huge fireball, roaring towards Sarutobi Hiruzen. Hiruzuru Sarutobi snorted coldly, quickly blocked Uchiha Itachi's attack, and opened his hands. Earth Dungeon, Earth Flow Wall. Immediately, the Earth Flow Wall blocked the flames. Itachi, stop playing this ninja school game and kill the old man quickly. Orochimaru smiled sinisterly. Hearing this, Itachi also opened the kaleidoscope Sharingan. Don't look into his eyes, everyone. Kakashi shouted hastily. The last time he relied on his own 3-gauge jade writing Sharingan to see Itachi's eyes, but he was dismissed after being read for a month. Laughing, Kakashi, you don't think that the kaleidoscope Sharingan of our Uchiha clan can only cast illusions, right? Sasuke sneered disdainfully. However, Itachi was speechless. He used too much to open Susanoo a few days ago, and he didn't have the eternal kaleidoscope Sharingan, so he probably couldn't open Susanoo now. HMPH, let's take a look at my masterpiece. Orochimaru summoned 3 coffins as he spoke. These 4 coffins are the dead bodies of the 3 Hokages. Reincarnation of Dirty Earth Change. What Orochimaru performed was the Filthy Earth reincarnation modified by Yaoshido. He deliberately didn't restore Senshozuma to its peak strength, so there would be no loss of control. Looking at the corpses of the 3 Hokages that appeared in the coffin, Sarutobi's eyes were about to burst, and he roared angrily, Oshimaru, how dare you blaspheme the undead? Shuriken Avatar Technique. Hiruzuru Sarutobi hurriedly used Shuriken Technique, trying to nail the 3 coffins. It's a pity that the improved Dirty Earth reincarnation has a faster casting speed, and the corpses of the 3 Hokages were still summoned. Hey, Why didn't the corpse of the fourth generation respond? Orochimaru looked at Minato's coffin for a long time without any response, feeling a little puzzled. Forget it, it is enough for the first and second generation to be summoned. The three generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, Asuma and others looked as ugly as if they had eaten shit. There were so many cage classes here, and they reincarnated the filthy soil of Senju Hashirama and Senju Fujian, can't they afford it? At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen also realized that something was wrong. He knew that if all of this was true, he would really be buried here today. Hiruzen Sarutobi looked at Sasuke. Where did your kaleidoscope Sharingan come from? Why did you betray Konoha? Sasuke sneered and replied. Why did I betray Konoha? Don't you have a clue in your own mind? How did Konoha force our Uchiha clan to rebel? How did they persecute our Uchiha clan, and even let Danzo and Orochimaru experiment with the eyes of our dead Uchiha clansmen? I really want to kill your horse. Sarutobi Hiruzanchi's face was as dark as the bottom of a pot, but he had nothing to say. I can only try to persuade. Sasuke, Itachi, Konoha used to be sorry for your Uchiha clan, but as long as you are willing to return to Konoha now, Konoha will definitely give you the best treatment, including those dead members of the Uchiha clan. I will erect monuments for them. Hehe, no need. Sasuke sneered. We kill you now, and then anyone can be Hokage, and we can also wash away the grievances of our Uchiha clan. HMPH, sharp-mouthed kid, let's try it. Hiruzuru Sarutobi snorted coldly, made up his mind, and simply stopped talking about it, and directly summoned the ape demon with a psychic spell, and then the ape demon turned into a Vajra wish stick and held it in his hand. Hiruzuru Sarutobi roared angrily, since you insist on taking the life of this old man, then go ahead. Although this old man is old, he can't be manipulated by others. Roar. The Vajra wishful stick vibrated in his hand, making a deafening roar, and a coercion emanated, causing the surrounding branches, stones, turf, soil, and surrounding rocks to fall down one after another, which can be described as earth-shattering. Orochimaru was not idle either, and directly turned into a white phosphorus snake and rushed up. Sasuke pulled out the Kusanagi knife, and a Chidori sharp spear struck at it. Itachi quickly formed a seal, and sprayed out the magic of phoenix fire from his mouth. The three joined forces and attacked Hiruzen Sarutobi. Hiruzuru Sarutobi let out a roar, and the ape demon in his hand hit Orochimaru with a stick, and even increased the power in his hand. Seeing this, Orochimaru could only dodge. Boom! With a stick down, a huge hole was smashed into the ground, and Orochimaru was shaken back more than 10 steps. And Sasuke's Chidori sharp spear also struck Sarutobi Hiruzen's chest, and there was a thunderous sound. Sasuke's Chidori sharp spear failed to pierce Sarutobi Hiruzen's soft armor. What kind of clothes are these? Sasuke frowned. Sarutobi Hiruzen sneered. This is the golden chani of our Sarutobi clan, which claims to be able to resist any attack, so you can't hurt me at all. Then why are you still standing? Surrender quickly, or you will die a miserable death when the four of us join forces later. HMPH, anyone can say big things, but it's still unknown who will win the battle. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen's hair was scorched by Itachi's phoenix fire art, and he looked extremely embarrassed. 5 escapes. Dalian bullet technique. Sarutobi Hiruzen no longer consumed it and directly released his strongest ninjutsu. His 5 avatars released the ninjutsu of 5 attributes of chakra in 5 directions in the air. Fire attribute chakra, wind attribute chakra, thunder attribute chakra, water attribute chakra, and earth attribute chakra. 5 clones and chakras of 5 attributes fused together, turned into a violent chakra, and swept towards Sasuke and the other 4. HMPH, small tricks. Sasuke sneered, and Susanoo, who directly activated his 4th form, protected the bodies of the 3 of them. Boom, 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 boom. The extremely powerful chakra directly hit Susanoo, and Susanoo resisted the chakra. How is this possible? Susanoo can actually withstand the attack of the 5 attribute chakra. This defense is too perverted. Hiruzuru Sarutobi was taken aback. He knew that it would be difficult for him to defeat the enemy in front of him with the 5 attribute chakra. After all, the opponent had Susanoo, and he also had ninjutsu such as Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi. Sarutobi Hiruzen's body was repelled by the violent 5-attribute chakra whirlwind, and was also shaken out at the same time. Sarutobi Hiruzen retreated more than a dozen steps in a row. At this time, Orochimaru and Itachi also rushed up. The two of them, one on the left and one on the right, launched a fierce attack on Sasuke. Sasuke's Susanoo almost also met Sarutobi Hiruzen. Orochimaru's speed is dazzling. Whether it is Orochimaru's yin-yang snake hand or sheltered sky snake sword, it is difficult for Sarutobi Hiruzen to parry, let alone Uchiha Itachi who has been performing ninjutsu. Boom, 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 boom. Sasuke's Susanoo almost shot a chakra bow and arrow. Not good. Hiruzuru Sarutobi's pupils shrank, but he couldn't escape for a while being pinned down by Orochimaru and Itachi Uchiha, so he could only raise the Vajra Nishiki stick to catch the bow and arrow. PFF'd. A burst of explosions sounded, and several blood holes appeared on Sarutobi Hiruzen's body, dripping with blood, and at the same time, a large piece of flesh and blood was burned all over his body by Itachi's fire escape ninjutsu. Ah! Hiruzuru Sarutobi screamed in pain, and the blood hole on his body continued to flow out, staining the ground red. Hehe, your soft armor is nothing more than that, Sasuke said with a sneer. After all, Susanoo's attack was terrifying. If Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't have the soft armor and the Vajra Nishiki stick to resist, he would have died in one hit. Hiruzuru Sarutobi glared at Sasuke, gritted his teeth and said, "Little devil, you wait for the old man will never forgive you, you will all pay the price for what you did today. Hehe, you are not worthy of making us pay the price." Sasuke sneered, "Stupid people, fall into the illusion of kaleidoscope Sharingan." Uchiha Itachi's kaleidoscope Sharingan looked at Hiruzen Sarutobi, and activated Tsukiyomi on him, and Hiruzuru Sarutobi immediately entered the world of illusion. Sarutobi Hiruzen found himself tied to the gallows, Uchiha Itachi kept piercing his body with a long knife, and Sasuke also poked himself a few times with the Chidori sharp gun in his hand, each time the bones were deeply visible. "Sensei Sarutobi, here I come." A familiar voice came from the side. Hiruzuru Sarutobi opened his eyes and looked, but saw Orochimaru standing in front of him, staring at him with a gloomy sneer. Then Orochimaru also pulled out the heavenly snake sword and pierced his body continuously. Ah! Hiruzuru Sarutobi cried out in pain after being tortured inhumanly by 3 people. After an unknown amount of time, a burst of severe pain struck, and Hiruzuru Sarutobi fainted. Orochimaru withdrew the sky snake sword, and Itachi stopped tormenting. Sasuke came over. He glanced at Hiruzuru Sarutobi, and said lightly, "This old man, death is not a pity." After speaking, Sasuke turned and left. Just when Hiruzuru Sarutobi thought it was over, he didn't expect to wake up again, his body recovered, and the 3 Uchiha Itachi tortured him again. After being tortured like this, Hiruzuru Sarutobi finally couldn't hold it anymore, and he yelled, "Remember, one day, I will make you die a miserable death." Hehe, I should have given you this sentence. Sasuke sneered. What? Another heart-piercing cry sounded. Sarutobi Hiruzen was pierced again, another burst of severe pain hit him, and he passed out. Is this enough? Amaterasu. Sasuke burned Sarutobi Hiruzen's bloody body over and over again with Amaterasu's black flames. He didn't believe Sarutobi Hiruzen could really stand it. After a hot barbecue, Hiruzuru Sarutobi was already on the verge of death, and he was covered in blue smoke. Itachi, kill this old thing. Clear. What? There was another shrill scream, and Hiruzuru Sarutobi died again. Then he woke up intact again, and was tortured again. In the real world, Hiruzuru Sarutobi only passed for a few seconds, but in the world of Tsukuyomi, he was tortured for dozens of hours. After unraveling the illusion, he was covered in cold sweat, collapsed on the ground with a pale face and gasped for breath. Tisk tisk tisk. How embarrassing, Sarutobi-sensei, it seems it's time to send you on your way. Orochimaru said with a smile. Protect Hokage-sama. Seeing that Yuan Fei Rizan was about to die, a group of top ninja hurried over to support him. Reikiri. Kakashi slashed at Orochimaru with his Reikiri. Fire escape, ashes burn. And Asma finally spewed out thick smoke and hit Uchiha Itachi. Earth Dungeon Earth Dragon Cannon. Uchiha Itachi didn't show weakness, and shot a giant earth dragon at Asma in one breath. Earth Dungeon Earth Collapse. Kakashi is worthy of Konoha Technician, Anyway, he will not show mercy even if it is not Obito. Uchiha Itachi's Earth Dragon Cannon and Kakashi's Land Collapse crashed together. Crack. The Earth Dragon and the Earth Dragon Cannon collided with each other and produced a large number of cracks, and Kakashi's Land Collapse was also smashed by Uchiha Itachi's Earth Dragon Cannon, and a cloud of black smoke rose up. Both Kakashi and Asuma suffered some minor injuries, but neither of them conceded defeat. Both wanted to keep fighting, keep fighting. I'm here to help you. Nara Shikahisa used the shadow binding technique to trap Orochimaru. Humph. Orochimaru shed its skin and struggled away Nara Shikahisa's shadow restraint technique. Earth Dungeon, Mire Cage. Orochimaru used ninjutsu to trap Nara Shikahisa in the water prison, and he also took the opportunity to escape. Bagua 4 consecutive empty palms. Hinata's patriarch Hinata Hyuzu formed a Bagua formation on the ground, and fired air cannons with both palms. Bang bang bang. The gossip air cannon fired by Hinata Hijuru hit Orochimaru, and several holes were punched out of Orochimaru's body. But Orochimaru ignored his injuries, and his strong resilience allowed him to heal his wounds in the blink of an eye. The technique of super multiplication. Akamichi Dingza turned into a giant with an inflated body, and slapped huge slaps towards Orochimaru and Uchiha Itachi. Seeing this, Sasuke's Susanoo shot another arrow towards Akito Dingza. Akito Dingza dodged Susanoo's arrow, but ignored Orochimaru's ninjutsu. A huge black mist enveloped his body. Boom! Chudao Dingzo was hit by a white phosphorus snake, and he was sent flying. Neither Orochimaru nor Uchiha Itachi would miss a chance. Orochimaru jumped up and landed on the top of Akito Dingza's head, raised his right leg high, and fell down heavily. Bang! With a muffled sound, Chudao Dingzuo fell directly to the ground and dissipated on the ground. His body was also covered with bloodstains. Wow! Chudao Dingzuo opened his mouth and spit out a mouthful of blood. He struggled to get up, shaking his body. His face became paler and paler. You two fools, you will pay for it. As soon as Chudao Dingzuo's words fell, a gust of violent wind suddenly blew towards everyone. Shua! Wind escape vacuum wave. A vacuum wave came, and both the Uchiha brothers Orochimaru and Konoha's ninja temporarily avoided it. Everyone stopped for a while. A voice sounded at this moment. Wait, don't do it yet. Suddenly a toad from Mount Miamu fell from the sky and landed on the roof of the battle. And the person standing on the toad is Konohamaru from Bo Renchuin period. Konohamaru, what are you doing? Sasuke said in dissatisfaction. Are you Konohamaru? Hiruzuru Sarutobi stood up regardless of his injury, staring at the young man. Ah, yes, Grandpa, it's me. Konohamaru said. Hiruzuru Sarutobi looked at this young man who looked like himself when he was young and couldn't help wondering, Konohamaru, are you from the future just like Sasuke? Yeah, Grandpa, it's just that I'm older than Sasuke was. In the timeline I was in, both Sasuke and Naruto-san were married and had children. Naruto-san is the 7th Hokage. The village is doing well and I'm already an elite Jonin. Konohamaru replied. Really? Hiruzuru Sarutobi felt a little complicated when he heard his grandson say this, and said with a wry smile, it seems that Muya village would develop better without an old man like me. It seems that I really deserve to die. Konohamaru shook his head and said, no, Grandpa, without you, the 3rd Hokage, Konoha would not have survived the dangerous ninja World War III period. Although you and Danzo did a lot of bad things, you also balanced Konoha's power. Without the foundation laid by you, the 5th Hokage Tsunade-sama, the 6th Hokage Kakashi-sama, and Naruto-san would not be able to develop the village so well. It's just. Konohamaru sighed, and said, you are really old, it's time to get down from Hokage's position. I know. Hiruzuru Sarutobi nodded and said, it's a pity that I can't live for long. Originally, the only thing I was worried about now was what would happen to Konoha after I died, but now I feel relieved after hearing you say that. Hiruzuru Sarutobi showed a smile. Konohamaru, why are you talking so much with him? Are you here to stop us? Sasuke said dissatisfiedly from the side. No. Konohamaru shook his head and said, since I joined the Akatsuki organization, I will not disobey the orders of the adults, but I hope that the 3rd Hokage can be buried by myself. Hearing this, Hiruzuru Sarutobi was stunned for a moment, and then smiled wryly. I didn't expect you to join the Akatsuki organization, Konohamaru, that's all. I believe that with you in Konoha, I can develop better. Come on, let me die at the hands of my own grandson, which is the only consolation. Orochimaru laughed from the side. Is grandson going to kill grandpa? Teacher Sarutobi is really pitiful. Ignoring Orochimaru's ridicule, Konohamaru turned Sarura into a golden cudgel and held it in his hand, saying seriously, I offended you, grandpa. Ah, that is Yuanluo, he has grown up too. Sarutobi, your grandson is pretty good. The Vajra wishful stick transformed from the ape demon said. Let grandpa see how far you have grown, Konohamaru. Hiruzuru Sarutobi let out a low cry, waved the Vajra omnipotent stick, and a hurricane blew towards Konohamaru. Clang! Konohamaru raised the Vajra Rui stick and blocked the Vajra Rui stick. Clang clang! Konohamaru and Sarutobi Hiruzen kept hitting each other with sticks, and the sound of metal collisions was endless. After a while, the two had fought for dozens of rounds. Clang clang! Three-party seal. Konohamaru preemptively separated the shadow clone, and a three-way seal trapped Hiruzuru Sarutobi in the seal. Spiral pills. Konohamaru was unreasonable, and another set of spiral pills hit Sarutobi Hiruzen. What? As soon as the seal was broken, Hiruzen Sarutobi was severely injured by Konohamaru, vomited blood, and fell to the ground, and this was just the beginning. Three-party suppression. Konohamaru let out a cold snort, and his body turned into three, each holding 3 iron pillars in their hands, and smashed them down towards Sarutobi Hiruzen. Shadow Clone Shuriken. The shuriken thrown by Sarutobi Hiruzen instantly became densely packed and shot towards Konohamaru. Screw Pill. The 3 huge iron pillars smashed into pieces in an instant, and the 3 shadow clones disappeared in an instant. As expected of the 3rd generation of Hokage, you were really powerful, but it's a pity that you were almost exhausted. Screw Pill. It was another spiral pill attack, and Hiruzuru Sarutobi blocked it again, but this move was more powerful. Hiruzuru Sarutobi's body was instantly blown out, collapsing a row of houses, and fell outside. PFF'd. Konohamaru was also bounced off and fell to the ground. Hiruzuru Sarutobi struggled to get up. Konohamaru also walked over slowly. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that Hiruzuru Sarutobi was not willing to attack his own grandson, and it was too obvious to let the water go. Grandfather. Konohamaru's face was a bit sad. Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen, tears flowed down, and he choked up and shouted. Seeing that Konohamaru was crying, Sarutobi Hiruzen had a look of helplessness on his face. He knew that his grandson was very filial, but since Konohamaru chose his own path, he had to make Konohamaru firm in his determination. Hiruzuru Sarutobi stood up, and shouted with anger on his old face, Konohamaru, what is that expression on your face? Since you chose to join the Akatsuki organization and let my group of Konoha's old stubbornness be washed away, then you must be firm in your determination. Didn't you always want to be Hokage? Hokage will always put Konoha village first. Now my existence hinders Konoha's development. If you kill me, I don't hate you, but you must strengthen your determination and strengthen your ninja way. Hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's words, Konohamaru's eyes became moist. When Konohamaru saw Sarutobi Hiruzuru's old face, he suddenly had an idea that maybe he really did something wrong. But, Grandpa, I'm sorry, your policy will only bring disaster to the villagers of Konoha, and it will only exacerbate the conflicts in the 5 great ninja villages. I must send you to a funeral. Konohamaru separated several shadow clones, and rubbed out a Helix Maru Shuriken in his hand. Spiral Maru Shuriken. With a flick of Konohamaru's hand, Hellamaru Shuriken slashed at Hiru Sarutobi. Boom! At this time, a transparent barrier suddenly appeared beside Hiruzuru Sarutobi, and the spiral pill shuriken hit the barrier and then was blocked. Ape Demon, you! Hiruzuru Sarutobi looked at the Vajra wishful stick in his hand with a complicated expression. Just now, the Ape Demon used the last strength to form a shield to protect him. Rezon, I'm sorry, I don't have the strength to protect you anymore. The Ape Demon's weak voice sounded, and then the Vajra wishful stick disappeared. Fire Escape Fire Dragon Fire Bomb. Sarutobi Hiruzen wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and sprayed the fire dragon bullet at Konohamaru. Buzz! The fire dragon bomb turned into a huge fire dragon, and rushed towards Konohamaru with scorching heat and strong shock waves. Konohamaru didn't dare to push it too far, and immediately cast the shadow clone to avoid the fire dragon's flame bomb. Boom! The flames and Konohamaru intersected, blasting the area where he was standing into a large crater with a diameter of more than 10 meters and a depth of more than 10 meters. Smoke and dust billowed everywhere, blocking his vision. Art Fire Escape Ho Fireball. Hiruzuru Sarutobi performed his powerful fireball technique, and a huge fireball fell from the sky, hitting Konohamaru with scalding heat and hot air. Boom! The huge fireball hit the place where Konohamaru was standing, and the ground was instantly scorched. A large hole several meters deep was blasted out of the place where Konohamaru was standing, and a large amount of gravel and soil splashed in all directions. Hiruzuru Sarutobi's powerful fireball technique did not end, and immediately after that another powerful fireball technique hit, accompanied by the sound of howling wind. Whizzing! Konohamaru escaped a huge fireball by using the instant body technique, and then made a mudra with both hands, using the water escape ninjutsu, water escape great waterfall technique, forming a huge waterfall in an instant, blocking the entire huge fireball. Boom! Sarutobi Hiruzen's fireball hit the big waterfall, and a violent explosion occurred. The big waterfall collapsed immediately, and the water column shot into the sky. After the fire dragon flame bullet was intercepted, Hiruza Sarutobi condensed the fire dragon again, using the technique of fire escape, flame dragon singing song, and continued to attack Konohamaru, while waving the long sword in his hand, shooting out streaks of fire towards Konohamaru. 8-Gate Dunjia, open! Konohamaru directly opened the 8 gates of Dunjia and the 6th gate of Jingmun. The veins all over his body burst, and green chakra steam came out. This young man is really good, he can actually master the 6th door of the 8 Dunjia. Matt K exclaimed from behind. After Konohamaru opened the 8 gates of Dunjia and the 6th gate of Jingmun, the speed and strength of his whole body increased by more than one level, a phantom flashed, and Konohamaru avoided all the fire dragons that Sarutobi Hiruzen was hitting. Boom! 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 The fire dragon fired by Hiruzuru Sarutobi continued to bombard the place where Konohamaru was standing, and a series of sounds spread throughout the entire forest. Konohamaru dodged one fire dragon attack after another, and kept dodging Sarutobi Hiruzen's attacks. Konohamaru's current speed has reached an astonishing level. Is this the 6th door of the 8 Dunjia? Kakashi was shocked. If Madokai opened the 8 gates of Dunjia Jingmun to fight with him, he might not be able to beat him. The fire dragon shot by Sarutobi Hiruzen became more and more fierce, sparks splashed and flames overflowed, and fireballs hit the trees one after another, blowing up the trees immediately. The area destroyed by the fireball became wider and wider, and the trees were destroyed more and more seriously. Finally, the fire dragon shot out by Sarutobi Hiruzen has covered the entire forest, almost half of the trees have been destroyed. Sarutobi Hiruzen's aura has been exhausted to the extreme, and his reckless release of fire escape ninjutsu just now exacerbated his injuries. He is not far from death, but he sees that Konohamaru has grown to a strength no less than his own, but he is very relieved in his heart. Konohamaru! Hiruzuru Sarutobi yelled loudly, and slowly fell to the ground, eyes wide open. Ha! Grandpa! Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen lying on the ground, Konohamaru was slightly stunned. You win, Konohamaru. Hiruzuru Sarutobi's lips trembled, and he uttered a few words with difficulty. My grandson, Konoha will be entrusted to you ninjas of the new era in the future. As long as there are flying leaves, there will be fire burning, and the light will shine on the village, and then new leaves will sprout again, and then protect Konoha village. Me. Hearing Hiruzuru Sarutobi murmur these words, Konohamaru opened his mouth not knowing how to answer. I am a failed ninja, but I hope that my grandson can do better than me. Konoha's future hope is entrusted to you. Please protect Konoha village. Grandpa, stop talking. Konohamaru hurriedly ran to Sarutobi Hiruzen, knelt and sat beside him, tears streaming down his face. No, I'm going to die too. Sarutobi's face turned pale, and he smiled with some relief. I'm going to die after all, but being able to watch you grow up is my greatest wish and my greatest touch. Master, Konohamaru cried. Asma also ran over, knelt beside Sarutobi Hiruzen and wept uncontrollably. Hiruzuru Sarutobi touched his hair and comforted him. Don't worry, although I have lived for a long time, I will die sooner or later. I have no regrets. I can train an excellent successor with my own hands. I have no regrets in dying. My greatest wish is to see Konoha prosper. Woo! Seeing Hiruzuru Sarutobi's body gradually become transparent, Konohamaru panicked in his heart. The future of Konoha is in your hands, and this ninja village must not perish. Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice became smaller and smaller, and at the end, only the last sentence was left. Then the eyes were closed, and there was no life anymore. A generation of Hokage, ninja, Sarutobi Hiruzen, just died like this. Grandpa, don't worry, Konoha will definitely regain its strength and create greater glories. Konohamaru kowtowed to Sarutobi Hiruzen's corpse. Then he picked up Hiruzuru Sarutobi's body. Konohamaru, what are you going to do with the old man's body? Asuma looked at him with unfriendly eyes. Konohamaru, the grandson, actually joined the Akatsuki organization, and killed Sarutobi Hiruzen together, which made Asuma's teeth itch with hatred. Of course it will be buried in Konoha's heroes' cemetery. Konohamaru said calmly. Then he left with Sarutobi Hiruzen's body in his arms. Stop! Asuma yelled angrily, trying to stop Konohamaru from leaving. Hehe, did you forget us? Orochimaru, a stalker, grabs Asuma and stabs him. And pierced a bloody hole in his shoulder. Asuma screamed in pain, took 2 steps back and fell to the ground. You all will die. Asuma glared fiercely at Orochimaru. Hehe, Orochimaru sneered, do Konoha's ninjas only talk big? Water escape, water flow barrier. Earth escape, big blast. Kakashi and Yamato teamed up to deal with Orochimaru, and Orochimaru's body immediately turned into Yamato Orochi, resisting the attacks of Kakashi and Yamato, and then the 8 big heads of Yamato Orochi looked at them with serious eyes, and rushed towards Kakashi and Yamato. Oshimaru, your ninjutsu is good. Uchiha Itachi also showed a hint of appreciation in his eyes. Kakashi and Yamato were both taken aback, and quickly used the earth flow wall defense. Boom! Orochimaru's big head hit Kakashi and Yamato's mud flow wall, knocking them both out and falling to the ground. The 8 heads of Orochimaru opened their mouths at the same time, biting towards Yamato. Seeing this scene, Yamato quickly pulled out kunai from his waist, and stabbed at Orochimaru's big mouth. Orochimaru avoided kunai, and swept towards Yamato with his tail. Whoosh! Yamato was sent flying by Orochimaru's tail. Yamato rolled on the ground for several laps before stopping, glanced at the wound on the ground, a trace of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth, and secretly cursed Orochimaru for being really strong, and could take advantage of his body shape change to avoid his kunai, and even knocked him into the air. If Yamato hadn't reacted in time, I'm afraid he would die by now. Why did Orochimaru come here? At this time, Hongdu and Yuhihong also rushed over after rescuing the civilians. Magic binding kill. Itachi activated the illusion and his body disappeared. Trees grew from Uchiha Itachi's feet and tried to bind Itachi. Itachi smiled coldly and played illusion in front of Uchiha. Isn't this courting death? Yudu. Itachi untied from Hong's illusion directly, and then activated the Yudu illusion on Hong. Boom! Wanshu Hong's body was pierced directly, and he fell into a pool of blood. Midori Anko saw that Kurenai Yuhi's most powerful ninjutsu was broken so easily, and lost her fighting power in an instant. She couldn't help being shocked. He looked at Itachi also full of fear. What kind of ninjutsu is this? How can it be so powerful? She hastily infused Hong with chakra and freed Hong from the moon reading. Are you okay? Red Doe asked concerned. The red pretty face paled for a while, looked at Itachi Uchiha with some fear, and said, it's okay, the illusion of the kaleidoscope Sharingan is really too powerful, don't look into his eyes. Chakra knife, Shinichi monogram. Asuma poured the wind chakra into her chakra knife, and then formed 2 beams of high-power blue glowing chakra knife in her arms, and slashed at Uchiha Itachi fiercely. Boom! These 2 high-temperature luminescent swords roared on Uchiha Itachi's body, but Uchiha Itachi's body turned into a group of crows and scattered, and did not harm him. Uchiha Itachi's eyes flashed with solemnity, and he quickly formed a seal, releasing his best fire escape ninjutsu. Groups of raging flames formed around him, and they continued to rotate, becoming bigger and bigger, and gradually formed a shuriken with a length of 3 meters. Fire escape fire dragon shuriken. Uchiha Itachi waved his right hand, and the 3-meter shuriken rushed towards Yuhi Kuren at an extremely fast speed. Not good. Asuma watched the shuriken attack Kureni Yuhi, stepped forward quickly, and tried to block Uchiha Itachi's ninjutsu with the chakra dual swords. Asuma's double knives were shattered as soon as they touched the shuriken, and the shuriken slashed fiercely on Asuma's left shoulder. PFF'd. A bloody wound appeared on his shoulder, and blood was constantly flowing. Asuma lowered her head and glanced at the wound on her shoulder, her expression changed slightly. Fortunately, he reacted quickly enough and made a defense in time, otherwise he would definitely suffer a loss this time. So close. Sweat dripped from Asuma's forehead. His heartbeat is also accelerating. Sigh, Master Orochimaru was really careless. Before the reincarnation of the dirty soil was completed, he couldn't wait to join the battle. Pharmacist Doe, who had been unnoticed until now, walked to the side of the reincarnated body in Chinsho Zujian and Chinshufajian. Orochimaru only summoned their bodies just now, but did not summon their souls back. The reincarnation of dirty earth. Putting a seal on the magic circle of the reincarnation of the dirty soil, and then completed the whole process of the reincarnation of the dirty soil. The bodies of Senju Bashima and Senju Tomona also opened their eyes. What's going on here? Is this the reincarnation of the filthy soil? Is it a forbidden technique invented by me? Chinsho Fajian opened his eyes and found the situation. Well, to be precise, this is a forbidden technique that I have improved. Originally, this forbidden technique would consume too much chakra. If it was used by ordinary people, it would not be able to bear it at all, and it also needs the corpse of the living to convert the resurrected one. So I improved it so that it can absorb chakra to shape your body. The pharmacist looked at the two with a smile. Who are you? You reincarnated as from the filthy soil. Chinsho looked at Yaoshido with a dark gaze. He didn't have Yaoshido in his memory, nor had he heard of Yaoshido, but he could clearly know that this person must be from Konoha. Hee. The pharmacist smiled, and said, Second Hokage-sama, your temper is really impatient. Wouldn't it be a good thing for you and the first Hokage-sama to see Konoha's current scene again? Tijian, I told you a long time ago not to study this kind of forbidden technique, but now we are summoned out even after we die. Sensho Zujian said while rubbing his head foolishly. After listening to Sensho Bashirama's words, Sensho Fajian frowned deeply and felt very upset. He could bear his elder brother Sensho Zujian's preaching, but he couldn't allow him to insult the forbidden technique he had studied. This is his Nilan except for Muya village. Brother, shut up. The most important thing right now is what this kid wants to do by reincarnating us. That guy called Yaoshido, what exactly do you want to do? Sensho Zujian also asked when he heard his younger brother say this. To be honest, I didn't reincarnate you from the filthy soil. It was Orochimaru who summoned you. Originally, he wanted you to help him kill the third Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi, but Hiruzen Sarutobi has died at the hands of his grandson now, so there is no need for you to do it again. Wait a minute, the amount of information you said is a bit too much. Kionju Zujian interrupted. You said that monkey guy is dead, or was he killed by his grandson? Sensho Bashirama was a little speechless. Her grandson can kill him no matter how old he is, no matter how weak Sarutobi Hiruzen is, I can still have 80%. Brother, your focus is wrong again. The important thing is, why did this guy kill our Konoha Hokage? Thousand Hands said dissatisfied. We'll discuss this issue later, first tell me about your reincarnation. Senju Zuma said, he was still very interested in this issue. Brother, Chinsho was speechless. He looked at Yaoshido and asked, tell me clearly, who is Orochimaru, why did he kill Sarutobi Hiruzen, and what is the purpose of your attack on Konoha village? Yaoshido could only explain slowly to Chiansho Fajian. Is that so? So you are under the control of Orochimaru? Senju Zuma asked after listening. Oshimaru is indeed controlled by people, but it is not he who controls us, but we control him. Pharmacist Doe said helplessly. After listening to Chinsho Fajian, he didn't dwell on this issue anymore. Okay, no matter what, your mission is to kill Sarutobi Hiruzen. As for other things, I hope you don't destroy Konoha village anymore. Senju Bashima said, looking at Senju Tomonama and said, Tobima, what Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo have done these years is really dishonest. They almost wiped out the Uchiha clan. How do you teach apprentices? Chinsho Fajian smiled awkwardly. This incident is my fault, and I will never have this kind of thing happen again in the future. Seeing Chinsho Fujian's embarrassed look, Chinsho Zujian stopped pursuing this matter in his heart. After all, this matter could not be blamed on Fujian. By the way, Yakushido, you just said that Sarutobi Hiruzen had been killed. What about the other senior management and all the ninjas? Sensho Fujian asked. They should all be dead. Danzo was killed by Sasuke, and the remaining high-ranking trash will probably have to be replaced after this time. The pharmacist said disdainfully. After Sensho Tomona heard it, he could only heave a long sigh. No matter what, Sarutobi Hiruzen was his apprentice after all. Okay, don't think about it anymore, let's go back quickly. Chinsho Zujian said and looked at Yao Shido. Chinsho Fujian nodded, and said, after all, we are dead people. You reincarnated us from the filth and now Hiruzuru Sarutobi is dead. If you want to carry out political reforms in Konoha village, you can carry out political reforms. Can you undo the reincarnation of the filth and let us go back? I'm talking about your soul. Your body cannot be taken away, otherwise you will die. The pharmacist said indifferently. Chinsho frowned, and said speechlessly, Yaoshido, your attitude is too arrogant. What, you want to do it? Pharmacist said, don't look at you as the older generation of ninjas who once dominated the ninja world, but now you have to obediently be subject to my improved version of Dirty Earth reincarnation. HMPH. Chinsho Fujian snorted coldly, although he was very upset, but there was nothing he could do about his current situation, and now he didn't even have 60% combat power. If he really fought with Medicine Master, he might suffer a disadvantage, so Chinsho Fujian chose to give in temporarily. What exactly do you want? Sensho Bashirama also asked impatiently. My purpose is very simple. I just need you to admit that Konohamaru is the new Hokage of Konoha village. The pharmacist laughed. What, you're just messing around. Konoha's Hokage was elected, not ours. Chinsho Zujian shouted angrily. I'm telling the truth, Konoha has no elections for a long time, and the common people don't care about these at all. Pharmacist shrugged his shoulders, ignoring Chinsho Zujian. Brother, you can't agree to him, otherwise he would really dare to use force against Muya village. Chinsho Fujian said and looked at Yao Shido, with killing intent in his eyes. Don't worry, I know what to do. Sensho Bashima patted Sensho Fujian's shoulder, then looked at Yakushi and said, I can admit the current identities of Akatsuki and Konohamaru, but you must promise not to interfere with the order of the ninja world in the future, otherwise, I will destroy you myself. Ha ha ha, First Dame, you look down on me too much. What I hate the most is people threatening me. Since you said so, then I swear that I will not cause any harm to Konoha from now on. After Yao Shido finished speaking, he immediately swore a poisonous oath to the sky. Konohamaru had already buried the body of his grandfather Hiruzuru Sarutobi at this time. He knelt and sat in front of his grandfather's grave, not knowing what to think. At this time, Yao Shido had brought Chinsho Zujian and Chinsho Fujian over. Are you, Pharmacist Doe, are these two? Konohamaru asked. These two are Konoha's first Hokage and Konoha's second Hokage Senju Hashirama and Senju Higama. Pharmacist said with a smile. I have seen the first generation of masters, the second generation of masters. Konohamaru was startled, and hastily saluted Senju Bashirama and Senju Fujian. Yeah, Sensho Bashima nodded lightly, but didn't speak. First generation, it's alright. Pharmacist Doe said to Chinsho Zujian. Senju Bashima also nodded, stood up, and said to Konohamaru, Konohamaru, from now on, Konoha will be your new Hokage. Huh, let me be Hokage. Konohamaru was stunned. That's right, Hiruzuru Sarutobi is dead now, and there are no good candidates at the moment, this position is most suitable for you. Senju Hashirama said. Konohamaru was about to refuse, but seeing the strong coercion in Konohazuma's eyes, he could only nod in agreement. Then you give me the position of Hokage first, and I will go to prepare first, and you can also take a rest. Konohamaru said that and left here. After Konohamaru left, Senju Hashirama said to Senju Higama, Tobima, Konohamaru is already our Konoha's new Hokage, he is a good seed, you can teach him your own forbidden technique, and when he learns it, he can also increase his combat effectiveness. Chinsho Fujian nodded, and said, I will teach him my forbidden technique as soon as possible, so that he can become powerful in the shortest possible time, so that even if I meet the shadows of the other 4 ninja villages in the future. Shinsho Feijian said, with a smile on his face. I believe Konohamaru will grow up. Sensho Zujian said, looking at Shinsho Feijian with anticipation in his eyes. Shinsho Feijian didn't say anything, and asked the pharmacist, everything is done, can we leave? Pharmacist nodded with a smile, and said, you can leave, but before leaving, I would like to discuss some conditions with you. You say, Shinsho said between the doors. I think you still remember Tsunade, the only descendant of the Senju clan now. I want you and Senjuzuma to persuade her to join the Akatsuki organization. Hearing this, both Chinshujujian and Chinshufeijian's expressions sank. No, Tsunade is my granddaughter, and I will never let her join your Shao organization. Sensho Zuma said to Yao Shido with a gloomy expression. Yes, your Akatsuki organization should harm other ninja villages. Chinsho Feijian also said the same. You, pharmacist stared at the people in front of him angrily. Why are you two saying that? I came here with good intentions to give you a way out for the Chinsho clan, how can you talk like this? We are also one of the famous organizations in the ninja world, and you dare to talk to us like that, you guys. Stop talking nonsense, I haven't asked you yet, you said that your Shao organization wants to collect tailed beasts, what do you want to do? Qiansho Feijian asked angrily. Hehe, this is of course to achieve the light and peace of the ninja world. Yao Shido began to draw a big cake and said, Master Senshujujian, although it is not polite to say this, but your decision to distribute the 9-tailed beasts to the major ninja villages was undoubtedly wrong. The major ninja villages did not coexist peacefully after they had tailed beasts. Instead, they regarded the tailed beasts. But back then they clearly promised me to live in peace. Chinsho Zujian said in surprise. Chinsho Feijian couldn't help cursing. Brother, are you an idiot? You gave other ninja villages a powerful weapon like a tailed beast. How could they keep their own place? When you were alive, they were shocked by your fighting power. After you died, they would definitely start a war. In my opinion, you might as well have fought with Uchiha Banmahara to flatten those ninja villages and unify the ninja world. Chinsho Zujian shuddered involuntarily. He could be sure that what Chinsho Feijian said was true, but he felt that doing so was a bit too much. After all, that was not his purpose at the beginning. Yao Shido continued to persuade. Master Sensho Zujian, don't forget that every tailed beast Manchuriki here has extraordinary power. Even if you send the tailed beasts to Ninja Village, you may not be able to guarantee that they will stay in Ninja Village honestly. They will leave Ninja Village sooner or later. At that time, they will start a war. At that time, it will not only be the scale of the previous 2 Ninja World Wars. Pharmacist Doe said. To be honest, the purpose of our Akatsuki organization is to collect all the 9-tailed beasts, and then synthesize them into the legendary 10 tails. With the powerful power of the 10 tails, our Akatsuki organization can form a kind of deterrent to the major ninja villages in the ninja world. They are forced by this deterrence and dare not start war. Chinsho Feijian nodded, and said, the idea is good, but... Chinsho Feijian suddenly paused, and continued, but even so, that will not change their bad nature. Even if the 5 major ninja villages no longer wage wars, there are still many small ninja villages that are unwilling to submit to any forces. They would rather destroy than succumb to forces. Master Chinsho Feijian, you are right, but our Akatsuki organization has another advantage, that is, the resources we have, which these small ninja villages do not have. Our Urin village now attaches great importance to the development of industrialization and trade, and has a huge amount of wealth, and the amount is extremely large, so this wealth can be used to expand our influence and power. As long as these influence and power expand to every corner of the ninja world, their civilians will involuntarily come into contact with the ideas of our Akatsuki organization. The vast majority of people are eager for peace, so without the support of the people, the leaders of these ninja villages, there is no way to start a war. But in this way, wouldn't these civilians hate ninjas even more? After all, they know that the decisions of these wars in the past were made by the ninjas. Qian Shoubei hesitated a little. This is what he is most worried about, because there are so many small ninja villages in the ninja world, and they are not willing to follow the 5 major nations. Don't worry about this, we will let people create public opinion. This will not only explain why so many ninjas in the ninja world are ninjas, but also let the civilians in these small ninja villages know that ninjas in the ninja world are also afraid of death, they are also afraid of war, and they are also afraid of losing their freedom. They will also understand that ninjas are now beginning to hope for a path of peaceful coexistence. Eventually, the gap between civilians and ninjas will be opened, and the gap between the 5 major ninja villages and small ninja villages will also be opened. Yao Shido said confidently, this is also his plan, as long as the civilians in the ninja world recognize the existence of their Akatsuki organization, then their plan will succeed, and this is exactly the way he is best at, because he can always find the most suitable method to make everyone accept it. What do you think, big brother? Chinsho Fujian began to believe what Yao Shido said. Sensho Zuma scratched his head in a naive manner, and said, indeed, I also think the plan he said is quite good, maybe it can really allow all parties in the ninja world to coexist peacefully. Of course, we are already doing this now. As long as we create enough momentum, I believe that the civilians in the small ninja village will recognize the new order of the ninja world, and we don't have to worry about these ninjas in the small ninja village. The pharmacist said, it looks like it's really feasible. Sensho Bashirama said, Tobima, why don't we support their Shao organization? Sensho Fujian was a little hesitant. If he supported the Akatsuki organization this time, he would completely abandon the ninja rules of the ninja world in the future. In that way, he would violate his original intention of wanting the Konoha family to dominate the ninja world, although he never admitted that he wanted Konoha village to dominate the ninja world. Yao Shido said, Master Sensho Fama, there is no time to hesitate. I also want to tell you that the ninja world will face even more powerful enemies in the future, even stronger than Master Hashirama and Uchiha Madara. What? How is this possible? Thousand Hands asked in amazement. In his opinion, his elder brother Senju Hashirama is the strongest, and Uchiha Madara is also on par with Senju Hashirama. Will there be anyone stronger than the two of them in this ninja world? Pharmacist said. I don't believe it either, but all of this is true. A series of changes have taken place in the ninja world, and even Ninja Village has undergone a series of changes. If there is no foreign enemy invasion, then there will be no war in Ninja Village. It is a pity that this enemy is not from the ninja world, but the Otsutsuki clan outside this planet. Sensho Bashirama frowned and asked, what's going on? Could it be a foreign enemy invasion? Why haven't I heard anything about it? Pharmacist shook his head and said, Master Chinsho Fujian, you probably don't even know why you are so powerful, it's because you are. Just when Doe was about to say something, Obito behind him just came out from the Shinwei space. My lord. Doe saw Obito and hurriedly saluted. It's okay, let me talk to the 2 Hokage-samas. Obito said. Who are you? Look at those eyes, are you also from the Uchiha clan? Senju asked with some vigilance. Obito said. Yes, I am also a member of the Uchiha clan. Now the Uchiha clan only has Uchiha Sasuke and Uchiha Itachi besides me. Sensho Fujian said. I heard from the pharmacist that Uchiha Itachi was under the pressure of Danzo and Sarutobi Hiruzen, and slaughtered all the Uchiha clan. Senju Fama continued. And Danzo and Orochimaru also went to study the remains of your Uchiha clan. Yes, but I'm not dead. Obito replied flatly. Not dead. That's right, I was seriously injured in the battle at Kanabi Bridge during the Third Ninja World War. If it wasn't for that old man's help, I'm afraid I wouldn't even be able to get out of here alive. Who is that old man? Chinsho Fujian asked. You also know that person, Uchiha Madara, who is your contemporary. Take Soil Road. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 3 shock mood points from Sensho Hashirama. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 3 shocked mood points in the Thousand Hands. Both Senju Bashirama and Senju Fujian were shocked when they heard the words, and Senju Bashirama asked in disbelief, Impossible, Uchiha Madara and I were killed by me after the battle at the Valley of the End. Obito said. Yes, I know, but he ran away at that time, and what you killed was actually his clone. How is it possible? Isn't he already lifeless? Even if I didn't kill him, he was seriously injured and would definitely not be able to survive. Kionju Fujian said. No, brother, it is indeed possible that you did not kill him. Sensho Fama looked at Sensho Bashirama and said. When I wanted to use Uchiha Madara's body for research, I found out that his body was actually fake. Yes, and Orochimaru also used your remains for experiments. Obito said. What's the meaning? Shinsho Tobirama asked suspiciously. Because at that time Danzo had discovered that Uchiha Madara was not dead, and sent someone to smuggle the bodies of you two out to Dashimaru for experiments. At first, he used splitting. The method of splitting he used was to fuse the blood of your two brothers, which eventually failed. Later, Dashimaru only used the cells of Senju Hashirama to develop Hashirama cells, and used them to clone babies. Only one of these cloned test specimens survived, which is the current Yamato. The power of escape is indeed far different from that of Chinshuju. Danzo, Orochimaru. Senju Feijian's face was extremely angry. He never thought that his disciple Danzo and Sarutobi Hiruzen's disciple Orochimaru would dare to do such a thing. Thousand Hands said, "Where did you get the news? Do you know, if this is the case, Uchiha Madara must be planning some kind of conspiracy, then not only Konoha, but the whole ninja world will be in danger." Hehe, don't worry, Uchiha Madara has no time to meddle in our business now. Obito smiled and said, Uchiha Madara is indeed dead now. And his body was burned by me with fire ninjutsu. Obito smiled and said, that's right, after Danzo and Orochimaru used the blood of your two brothers to create Yamato, they put your ashes together and mixed your ashes and your blood into a strange solvent to cultivate Yamato. This solvent is called composite powder. It has two functions. One is that it can use a lot of blood to make Yamato stronger. The other is that it can change the genetic organization of human beings, change people's blood types, and let humans have more powerful ninjutsu. This is Yamato's blood effect. This man named Orochimaru is indeed a talent. Senju Hashima didn't care that his body was desecrated by Orochimaru, but it would be great if such a talent could faithfully work for Konoha. Then Uchiha Madara healed my injury with Baiju and Hashirama cells, and then Uchiha Madara gave Nagato his reincarnation eyes. The purpose is to let Nagato grow up to collect tailed beasts and use the reincarnation natural technique to revive him. And he wants to use me to collect tailed beasts to synthesize 10 tails to activate the infinite Tsukiyomi technique, so that everyone in the ninja world is immersed in illusion. For this reason, he killed my teammates. Originally he put a seal on my heart, but it didn't work, so I burned his body in the end. Obito said. That's good, he's dead. Qian Shufei breathed a sigh of relief. Obito said, however, your body was also smuggled away by Orochimaru's clone. Trough. Shinsho Feijian's face was gloomy and he swears. Senju Zuma asked, then what are you going to do now? I have already convinced Nagato that we are going to work together to achieve real peace in the ninja world. The specific plan was told to you just now. Hearing what Obito said, Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobima felt relieved a lot. Then the next step is to prevent Uchiha Madara from being resurrected. Don't worry, let's settle your matter first. Take Soil Road. What else do we have to do? Qian Shou-fan asked doubtfully. First generation Hokage, do you know why you and Uchiha Madara are so powerful? Obito asked. I don't know either. I remember that I was a crane tail when I was a child. I don't know when I awakened Mudun and a lot of chakras. Shinsho Zujian said innocently. Shinsho Feijian rolled his eyes aside. His elder brother is invincible for some reason, it is really Versailles. As for Uchiha Madara, we have been playing together since we were very young. His talent was not very good before, but after he opened Sharingan, his strength has grown as fast as opening it. This is because you two are the reincarnations of Indra and Asura, the sons of the Sage of the Six Paths, Otsutsuki Yuki, and this is the awakening of your blood successor boundary. Chinshujujian and Chinshufeijian were taken aback. Immortal of the Six Paths, no wonder his strength has improved so quickly. Both of us are reincarnations, and are the sons of the Sages of the Six Paths, so our blood succession boundary should also be inherited from the Sages of the Six Paths. Obito nodded. Qian Shou said, this is too ridiculous. My eldest brother and I were both born to the same mother, why don't I know that he is the reincarnation of the son of the immortal of the Six Paths? It's just that the soul is reincarnated, and the body is not reincarnated. The current Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha are also the reincarnations of Indra and Asura. Obito said helplessly, it's no wonder they are. After all, the reincarnation of the soul sounds ridiculous. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.